So hello everyone. I hope all of us wrote MiniJEE very properly, and it was a great help for all of us. It was first of its own kind. It was the first of its ever type where we brought this rehearsal JEE means exam for all of us. I hope the important points to learn out of this was to understand some basic amenities that we need to bring in on the real day, like at what time we need to report, at with what basic documents we need to reach there, and what type of interface we will be actually facing on the real day, and so on. So I hope overall this mini JEE was a great experience for all of us. Um, Coming back to the paper discussion, today we are going for the solution and the paper discussion of mini JEE. I hope this discussion will help all of us to understand the important points and the important concepts to be highlighted. If I talk about this subject as a subject physics, so Ashish sir, what do you think? What could be like? What was the type of paper?
Paper was, we can say in general, it's towards easy to moderate, we can say, right?
Okay.
Only there are, we can say, 2 to 3 questions which are look like difficult or hard, we can say.
Okay.
Otherwise, all are mostly the moderate
So
or easy.
yeah, you can say it's like a exact JEE means standard type of
exact.
paper, right?
Yeah, we can say
So in last year's 2025, when we were going for paper discussion,
Yeah.
we have seen paper like this,
Yeah.
where there was more weightage for some particular chapter and very less weightage for some particular topic, and there was sometimes there was no particular question coming from a particular chapters.
Because there are so many papers.
So there'll be shifts. So this can be one of the probable paper, right? So coming to the point, I think we should start with the paper discussion. Sir.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Also, if I ask, what can be the marks for 99 percentile for this type of paper?
We can say 83 plus or 86 plus something.
Right.
So it will be.
Yeah, even I think that 80 plus around 83 plus around like that can be a good percentile for this. Obviously, 100 percentile we can never claim. 100 percentile can be 100 marks only also, because in physics, no, chances of getting full marks is also there with this kind of paper.
In this paper, if someone has prepared well, so we can say they can get 100 marks as well.
Right. So let's start with the paper discussion. Let's start with the question number 1. So starting with the first question is from electrostats and it's basically Gauss law based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I can see the question says that there is a cylinder of radius r and length 2r. So it's like a cylinder of length 2r.
Yes.
All right. And this is a radius r, and there's a charge kept at the center of it. So we can use the concept of
solid angle.
Angle, right? So flux passing from here and flux passing from there. We can find that, and total flux minus these two flux will be the flux passing through
curved
surface, right? So basically, if you want to find the flux passing through a disk, we generally use the formula of 2 pi r square into 1 minus cos theta. Theta is this half angle, and by 4 pi r square times q by epsilon naught will be the flux passing through each disk.
Yeah.
And when we multiply by 2, I'll get the flux from both of the disks,
faces.
right? Yeah. This total minus this from q by epsilon naught. I think from here we can see this 4 pi r square will be cancelled because this 2 into 2, 4 pi r square will be there, and theta will be 45. Cos 45 will be 1 by root 2, right? So when we go for solving this, 1 will
q
be
by
cancelled.
epsilon naught, q by epsilon naught will be cancelled out. So
right. So the answer will be option 3. All right. So the next question is a question from diodes, semiconductor based. When ideally they mentioned the diode is ideal, the potential drop across this, will be 0, whereas it's not mentioned here. So we will be considering a drop across this is 0.3 volt as mentioned in NCERT, and across this it is 0.7 volt is the drop. So 15 volt here, drop here 0.3 plus 0.7 will be 1. So 15 minus 1 is the voltage drop there by 4 kilo ohm, 1.5 plus 2.5, 4 kilo ohm is the current, voltage by resistance, into the resistance across 2.5, because they are asking the voltage across the load resistance. So the answer will be 0.75 volt.
Yeah. So in this one, what they are asking, they are saying the temperature at which the kinetic energy of oxygen molecule becomes double than its value at 27 degrees centigrade, right? So first thing what we are saying to in the class is that you have to use we have to put the specific values, right? So we have to convert the temperature in Kelvin as well, right? So if we know the kinetic energy in that one, that is 3 by 2 kT. There is no use of this one. You have to just remember E is proportional to T over here, right? So we can just say here it's a E1 by E2 is equals to simply T1 by T2, right? So this is E1 is, let's say this is E and this is E2 and this is equals to T1 by T2. So we can say this T1 is 300 Kelvin, right? You will convert this 27 degree into the Kelvin and this is 273 plus, let's say this is the T in Celsius because the option is in Celsius over here, right? So they are saying it's a 2 times. So E2 is equals to 2 E1 they are saying, right? So E1 will be cancelled out. So this is 273 plus T is equals to 600 over here, right? So from here you will get T equals to 600 minus 273. So T is equals to 327 degrees centigrade, means the second one is the correct answer for this, right? Okay. Now,
Exactly. So based on KTG.
yeah, it's basically from KTZ.
KTG. A very easy question, formula based. Okay, next question is assertion is on statement based question. A theoretical question we are seeing very often. So the first statement says area under VT graph gives the distance traveled by the body, which is a wrong statement. Area under VT graph tells displacement. This tells displacement, not distance, right?
Because in this one they have to remember one thing. Okay, if we are just drawing any VT graph over here, so when they will just take a graph over here. So for area we are just writing integration velocity into VT.
Exactly.
And this will give the displacement only, not the
Right,
distance.
right. So
Right?
the area under VT graph gives you displacement, not distance. Obviously, statement 1 is wrong. Area under acceleration time graph gives you change in velocity, and that's true. So obviously, statement
One
1
is-
is wrong and 2 is correct. So
Fourth-
we'll go
fourth
for
one.
option. So next.
Okay, so next one is the temperature of a gas having this molecules per cubic meter at 1.38 atm, right? And K is given that this, okay. So what they are asking here, at which temperature, this is the situation we have to find the temperature, right? So how we'll solve it in this case? What is this 2 into 10 to the power 25 molecule per cubic meter? This is basically number density, right? So you can go with the PV equals to nRT as well, right? So you can say just this is PV equals to N is N by NA and this is R into what? T. So this R by NA is what? This is the K we have, right? So you can just write T is equals to P by, we can write it N by V into this is K over here, right? So by putting the data, you can find it out. So it is coming out to be P. P is 1.38 and this is ATM. So you can convert it with 10 to the power 5 over here in Pascal. And N by V is given as 2 into 10 to the power 25 over here into. The K is given as 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23 over here, right? So you can see this will be cancelled out over here. So it is coming out to be, it will be cancelled out. So this is basically 10 to the power 3 by 2 over here means 500 Kelvin over here, right?
So exactly from this question, I think we can realize that
it's a basically KTG question based on the PV equals to nRT simply, we can say.
Right,
We can apply. And this number density is very important in general because we know if number density is less than real gases are we having like ideal gases, right? So this is the important concept we have. Okay, now let's move on the next problem over here.
Yeah, but next question is on hydraulic automobile lift is designed to lift vehicle of mass 5,000 kg. So M is been given.
It is based upon basically
Pascal's law, right? The area, whenever we see hydraulic lift based problem, hydraulic problem, is based on Pascal's law. The area of cross section of the cylinder carrying to the load is 250 centimeters square. So A is given, mg is given.
Yes.
mg by A will give you the pressure.
Yes. We
right?
can just, I hope everyone have seen this, right?
Right, exactly.
So they are asking about this one. So we know the pressure will be same. So they are asking the maximum pressure.
Right.
So you know the maximum pressure if you are just doing mg by A over here. Plus you know P naught will also act over here. So mg plus mg by A plus this is what? P naught.
P naught is atmospheric pressure.
Yeah, I hope you can do it. Mass is given as what? It's a 5,000 into 10. By area is
250 10 minus 4.
250 into 10 to the power minus 4 over here. Plus this is 1 into 10 to the power 5 over here. We can write for calculation purpose, right? Now in this one you can see they have given it's in this one all the options are in 10 to the power 6. So we can just write it 0.1 into what? 10 to the power 6 over here. So you can see this will be cancelled out over here. So it will be cancelled out. So it is coming out to be, it's a 5 to 200, 200 and this. So this is 2 into 10 to the power 6 plus 0.1 into 10 to the power 6 over here.
So the closest option will be option 4.
Fourth.
Yeah, it's coming 2.1, but the closest option is 2 10 to the power minus plus 6, which is like option 4. Right. So next question is based on dimension. We every time in every shift we find one question on dimension. It's again a very relevant question. Also, while solving dimensional question and passage based question, please try to check by solving one or two option can you get the answer. No need to solve all the options sometimes to save your time. So we can check question option A, torque. Torque is what? Force into displacement. When I write force is like what? ml t minus 2 into L matlab ml square t minus 2. So let's check torque is been, so I can see option A has all two options same and there's option difference. Let me see. So ml square t minus 2. So torque is, so A is 2, right?
A is
A is 2. Okay. So at least I know that either 1 or 3 is the answer. Let's go for option B. If B is done, then things are sorted. So for stress is what? Force per area. So which is ml t minus 2 by L square, right? So which will become ml minus 1 t minus 2,
right?
Right? And we can see the option is 4, right? So A to B 4, so third will be correct, right?
Right. Okay, this is the next one we have. In this one, they are saying a bullet of mass, this 0.1 kg, moving horizontally with a speed 400 meter per second, right? Hits the wooden block of mass, this 3.9 kg kept on a horizontal rough surface. The bullet gets embedded into the block and moves 20 meter before coming to rest, right? So in this one, we have to find out the frictional coefficient, right? So you can just see what they are saying. They are saying simply, this is the block we have, right? And there is a bullet we have of 0.1 kg over here, right? And this is 3.9 kg over here. This is at rest, okay? So simply you have to find out the velocity after impact. So velocity in this one is 400 meter per second. So it will be get embedded in this one. So the total mass becomes 4 kg over here. Let's say velocity becomes v. So you can simply apply the momentum conservation. So it will be 0.1 into 400 is equals to, this is v into 4. So from here you will calculate. So it will be v is equals to 10 meter per second, right? So once you will get the velocity, now after this block will start moving with 10 meter per second, right? So after this, what will happen? It is just stopped over here after traveling a distance of 20 meter, right? So you can just apply the work done by friction is equals to change in kinetic energy. Work energy theorem you can apply. So what is the kinetic energy? Half mv square, m is 4 and v square is what? 100. And this is equals to work done by friction, that is mu mgx. So this is mu, m is 4, z is 10 and s is what? 20 over here, right? So you can see in this one, this 4 will be cancelled out with the 4, this 100 will be cancelled out with this. So mu is equals to 1 by 4, that is 0.25, right?
Exactly. So question like this is like application of momentum conservation plus energy conservation. Like momentum conservation followed by energy conservation, or you can go for work gain theorem actually. You can go like that because work done by friction is equals changing kinetic energy. So that was the concept being delivered. This next question is very simple. Wave emitted when a metal target is bombarded with a high energy electron are obviously X-ray. It's like a theoretical question. Electron starts from the cathode, this plate, strikes the plate, and therefore characteristic or continuous X-rays comes out, right? So yeah. Next question. Consider the following statement. Atoms of each element emit characteristic spectrum. So I think all of us are very much comfortable with option 1.
It's a very basic, I think.
Whenever we write about spectrum, we talk about lambda, we think of 1 by lambda wala formula, 1 by lambda r, z square, 1 by m.
Lambda is already related to z, so
right. They will remember. So we can see this formula, no? From here we can think of this, right? We can think of this.
Yeah.
So from here also we can think that lambda and z has a relation. We're talking about spectrum. So obviously option A is right. B is according to Bohr's postulate, an electron in a hydrogen atom revolves in a certain station orbit. It's a Bohr postulate actually.
Yeah.
And very good statement. C, density of nuclear matter depends on size of the nucleus. Never density of nucleus is constant. It's a constant, right? It's proportional to the size of the radius. But density is constant. Mass will vary with radius, but density is constant. Yeah. So a free electron is stable, but a free proton decay is possible. Wrong statement. E is radioactivity is an indication of instability of nuclei. Obviously, radioactivity shows that there can be further disintegration
They
of
will get
nucleons,
stability.
right, to attain stability.
Okay, so in this one, what they are saying, and this is the problem I have observed, they are asking frequently, right?
Right.
In mains, in advance as well, right?
I think,
this
Ajay
is
sir, whenever this question comes from, two things we should be keeping in mind. For gravitation orbital questions
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
we have angular momentum
Angular
conservation to
momentum
be applied
right.
and energy conservation to be applied.
Yeah.
These two concepts we are using every time to solve these type of problem. All right?
Yes.
And very, very relevant, very famous question type.
Yeah.
We can go
So
with this.
in this one, what they are saying, satellite we have revolving with this V naught over here, right? So a particle is projected from the satellite in forward direction, right? And in this one, they are saying the velocity. This is the relative velocity, not the velocity with respect to ground. Either you can say absolute term, right? So then we have to find out the maximum distance from the Earth center during the subsequent motion of the particle. So they are asking about particle, not about satellite, right? So they are saying in this one, this is the Earth we have, right? And from the center, let's say this is r distance is there. So this is just revolving over here in an orbit, right? So in this orbit, its velocity is v naught. So we can consider if any particle is moving in this orbit, it should have the velocity of v naught, right? So if we'll project a particle in forward direction from this, so we have projected with velocity v over here, right? So in this one, velocity of particle is equals to velocity of particle with respect to this satellite, a plus velocity of satellite over here, right? So you can go with this. So you will observe that velocity of particle with the satellite is root over 7 by 6 minus 1. Either you can just write v naught, a minus v naught over here, and plus what is the velocity of satellite? V naught. This v naught will be cancelled out, right? So velocity of particle is root over 7 by 6 v naught. Okay. So if this is the velocity we have, that is root over 7 by 6 v naught, this is more than v naught. If this is more than v naught, it means this particle will not follow the same path over here, right? And even this is less than the escape velocity. It means this particle will move on an outer ellipse over here, right? So particle will perform a elliptical path over here. So that's why they are asking what is the maximum separation in this. So you can just say this is r, we can say this is r dash, right? So about the center we can have a momentum conservation. So what is the momentum conservation for particle? Let's say mass is m. So m into, at this point, let's say velocity is vp over here, and the r is the distance. For another point, this is m, and we can say vp dash, and this is what? R dash over here, right? So this is the first relation we can find from here. What is the v naught we have? V naught is simply, we all know, this is root over gm by r over here, right? So if this is the velocity we have, orbital velocity, right? So you can just put over here, because vp is root over 7 by 6 v naught. After this, the second thing you have to apply, the energy for this particle is conserved in this orbit. So you can go with the energy conservation, right? So what is the energy conservation for that? At this point, what is the kinetic energy? Half m of the particle, v of the particle is square. A gravitational potential energy is also there. So minus g m into m of the particle by this is what? R1, either we can say r over here, right? So now this is equals to, when particle reaches at that point, it will be half m v particle dash square minus g m by this is r dash square. So this is the second equation we have, right? So when you will just put the value of vp dash and vp from this over here, so you will get a quadratic of r dash in r, right? So after solving that, you will get the value of r dash in terms of r, and that is coming out to be 7r by 5, right?
There's a square.
Yeah. Sorry, square is not here. Okay. So by solving this, you can get the result.
Yeah. So we can obviously understand after elaborating all that, energy conservation and angular momentum conservation we have to use very often. Apart from it, in this particular question, obviously there was extra flavor been added. So it comes under a question which is a challenging question, because it consumes time also. So we can understand that this problem will be a game changer type. If somebody is thinking 100 marks is a
in this
percentile,
one more thing is there, ki if you are not taking relative velocity,
then
of
you'll
that
be
one,
not getting the
will be difficult. And there is one more method to solve this one, right? With the help of eccentricity, like V maximum, V minimum, 1 plus E, 1 minus E. You can
Right.
solve with that as well. But
This is more general, more
yeah.
fundamental. We can use it for more number of questions like this.
If they are asking anything else, you can get with this as well, right? So that's why this is-
Any question of planetary motion, angular momentum conservation, and energy conservation, mostly it has been used. So next question is very simple. A metal of an EMF of 0.08 volt is induced in a metal rod of length 10 centimeter held normal to a uniform magnetic field. B is given. V is given.
L is also given.
Achha, V we need to find. So
V
obviously we'll use the formula of E is equals to
VBL.
BVL, right? So V is equals to E by B into L.
Yeah.
I think after putting the value, E is what? 0.08. B value is how much? 0.4 into L is how much? 0.1. So this point will be cancelled. So 8 by 4, which is
2 meter per
2 meter.
So
per
fourth
second.
option is correct for this. Right.
So next question is again a very simple question. A particle be revolving around the center O with radius of circular path r and angular velocity omega as shown in the below. The projection of OP on the axis. So matlab we need to find this projection.
Yeah.
The projection. Matlab this, if this angle is some theta, they are asking r cos theta plus 30 degree.
Pi by 6. Yeah.
Right? And theta is what? Omega.
Omega T.
So I think
second option is
I
correct
think
for
yeah,
this.
second option. So I think how much time that gravitation question took, that was being
that
compensated
is
by the next
reduced
two
over
questions and even the third one also.
Yes.
The photocurrent is proportional to the intensity of the incident radiation at a given frequency. Yes, the photocurrent is proportional to intensity. If frequency is not changing, more number of photons striking, matlab more number of photoelectrons may come out, right? So option A is true. The maximum kinetic energy with which photoelectrons are emitted depends on intensity of incident light. No, kinetic energy depends on frequency, right? We know the formula Ke max is equals to h nu minus h nu naught, right? Where this is the energy
Also
of the
depends upon phi as
right energy of the photon, and this is the
Phi.
threshold, right? Threshold energy. So see, maximum kinetic energy with which photoelectron are emitted depends on the frequency of incident light, right? C I think is right.
Yeah,
The emission of photoelectron requires a minimum threshold intensity of incident radiation. No, it's not about intensity, it's about frequency.
Yeah.
Maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron is independent of the frequency of the no. So obviously if C is right,
A is right and C is right. So
E is
third
right.
option is correct.
Option
Right.
yeah. Right.
Okay.
Next question.
This is the next problem we have, right? So this is the basic circuit problem we have. What they are saying, in the following circuit, the battery E1 has an EMF of 12 volt. So this is the E1 we have. What is this? This is 12 volt, right? And they are saying E2 is 2 volt. So you can just consider this is 2 volt over here. So they are saying the galvanometer Z is 0. It means there is no current passing through this galvanometer, right? So let's assume this is 0 over here. So this is 0. This is also 0. We can consider. So it will be 12 volt. And if there is no reading in this one, so if this is 2 volt, so it should be also what? 2 volt. So what is the drop in this one? Drop in this one is 12 volt and drop across this one is 2 volt, right? So in this one, if there is no current passing through this, so whatever current is coming along this, that will be also passed through this, right? So just write the current for both the resistor over here. For this one, this is 10 by 500 over here. For this one, this is 2 by x over here, right? So from here you can solve. So x is equals to, this is cancel out, 50 into 2. This is 100 ohm over here. Sorry, this is not I. So from here you can get the x is equals to what? 100 ohm, right?
Right. We could have done this by other ways also. There are many other ways. We can write that. Yeah, we can write that the I into x is 2 volts straight away, and we can write I as equals to E by 500 plus x.
Yeah.
E by 500 plus x into x is equals to 2 volt. We can write like that also. Okay. Next question is given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion. Other is labeled as reason. Electromagnets are made of soft iron. Right. Electromagnets are made of soft iron. And we know that soft iron has a property of low retentivity and low coercivity. What is low retentivity? That when we remove the external magnetizing field to demagnetize it, it's easy for them. It will not retain its magnetic dipoles. And low coercivity means the external magnetic field required in the opposite direction to demagnetize it completely. A soft iron has low retentivity and low coercivity. All right. So option A. Option A is right. Electromagnets are made of soft iron. Soft iron has high permeability and low retentivity, right? Permeability high means susceptibility is also high. But obviously, for this assertion, this word low retentivity is a good reason to tell that why we are using soft iron for electromagnets.
Yeah.
Electromagnets are temporary magnets. We need low retentivity. When we remove external magnetic field, we should get back to the normal material, not a magnetized thing.
Because if it will not be low, then it will becomes permanent magnet. So it will be difficult.
Right. So obviously option
Third is correct for this, right? Okay. Now this is the next we have, right? So in this one, what they are saying the orbital angular momentum, as just now we discussed, like frequently they are asking problem based on this, right? So angular momentum is L over here when it is in a circular orbit at height h from the Earth's surface. If the distance of the satellite from the center of the Earth increases by 8 times, right? Increases by 8 times, means it becomes 9 of the original one, right? So let's see here. We all know what is the angular momentum. It's a mvr over here, right? But we all know v is also proportional to 1 by root r, right? That orbital velocity v equals to root over gm by r. So from here you can say L is proportional to root r over here. You will put the v as 1 by root r and this is r. So we can say simply L1 by L2 is equals to root over R1 by this is root over what? R2 over here, right? So now in this case, you can see they are saying this is L and this is L2 and this is root over, let's say R, then they are saying this one becomes 9R because increases by 8 times. So it will becomes total 9R. So it will be cancelled out. So you can say the L2 is equals to 3 times of initial over here, right? So we can say the option 4th is correct for this, right?
Yeah, again it's angular momentum conservation.
Yeah, again. And the best part of this one is ki similar concept you have to apply in atomic structure as well.
Exactly.
So it will help you out there.
Okay. So next question is the projectile is thrown in the upward direction, making an angle 60 degree with the horizontal direction with a velocity of 150 meter per second. So I think it's a very standard question. V is equals to 150 here and this angle is 60 degrees. It will go through a path. Obviously here it's making an angle of 45. Then time after which it makes an angle of 45 degrees. So this is like 45 degree. And there must be some speed v and this is some speed u. What will not change in a projectile motion if no other force acting along the horizontal is the x component. So we can write that v cos 45 is equals to u cos 60, right?
Yes.
V cos 45 equals to u cos 60, where u is what? 150, cos 60 is what? Half. This is 1 by root 2. This will come out to be v, right?
Yeah.
So this
so
will
in
be
this one you can see they have already told for upward motion.
Yeah. So we are not taking the lower one. Yeah.
So you don't have to go for this one. Only that one you have to solve, right? So this is the v we have. After this, you can go for the y-axis motion, I think, right?
Yeah.
So for this one, you can just see what's the initial velocity along y-axis. That is basically 150 into sine 60 is what? Root 3 by 2 over here, right? So now you can go for vy is equals to uy plus ay into t over here. So this final velocity along y-axis is basically the v sine 45 degree. So you can say v is what? V is 150 by root 2 over here from there, and sine 45 is 1 by root 2. As we are just considering this one, so it will be positive over here, and this Vy is 150 and this is root 3 by 2, and this is minus because acceleration is in downward direction 10 into t. So you can see this 0 0 will be cancelled out from here, and this is 150 by 2 as well. So you can say the time is 15 by 2, and this is root 3 minus 1 over here. So you can say this is basically 7.5. Yeah. And root 3 minus
option
1.
3.
So third option is correct. If they were asking for downward motion, so plus will be correct for that, right?
Right. So it's again like a basic projectile motion where we use the concept of motion in 1D. Motion in 2D is 1D plus 1D. So you write about, you took the help of x component and you wrote expression for y component. So just be specific component wise. By the way, this is one of the most important type of question which we are seeing right now. In wave optics, we have seen YDAC based questions so many times, and especially that fringe width question. There's again a question on the width of the fringe is 2 mm on the screen in a double slit experiment for the light of wavelength of 400 nanometer.
We can
the
use
width
this
of the fringe for the light of wavelength is 600 nanometer. So obviously we should go with beta 1 by beta 2 is equals to lambda 1
by lambda
2. This concept will be used. Capital D, small d will be same.
Yeah.
We can put the value of.
This is 2 mm and this is beta 2, and lambda 1 is 400, I think. Yeah. And this one is 600 over here. It will be cancelled out. So you can get the beta 2 is equals to 3m. Right. So the
option 4.
Fourth one is correct for this, right?
So, very standard problem. It's a very important thing to learn from here. YDAC, please go through it again and again. It's a very relevant type of topic where from standard formula-based questions are coming. Even at this less time we are left with, we should revise the important formulas of this particular chapter. Very standard, typical type of question comes from here, right? Let's go with the next question.
Yeah. So in this one, they are saying a Cassegrain telescope. This is also termed as reflecting telescope.
So yeah, Cassegrain telescope, sir, we have read in NCERT.
NCERT,
So it's exactly NCERT terminology being taken from there. When we read in NCERT, we read only about Cassegrain telescope as a reflecting telescope.
Yeah.
So it's one of the very famous reflecting telescope used these days. Yeah.
So in this one, what they are saying, there is a 2 minutes. We all know in that one 2 minutes. This is the. I hope you have seen this figure in NCERT as well, right? So you can say in this one, just a moment. So this is the mirror we have. This is the one part. This is another part. And in this one, there is a eyepiece we have, right? So in this one, we are just, this one is termed as a smaller mirror and this one is termed as larger mirror, right? Even sometimes they are saying this one as an objective mirror as well, right? So if the ray is incident from here, it will incident on this and again reaching to it over here. So they are asking the position of image for the eyepiece, right? So simply you can do one thing. So in this one, we can go with this like, this is the larger mirror we have. What is the radius of curvature of this one? The radius of curvature is 220 over here. So we can say the focal length for this one is 110 and this is in mm, right? So this is 110 mm over here. So if the ray is incident like this, so you know it will form the image at focus of this one, right? So this distance could be 110 mm we have, right? And they are saying this separation is 20 centimeter for this. So for this mirror, you can see there is this image will act as an object for this, right? So what is the position of this one? It's basically 110 minus 20. So this is the 90 mm we have. So now for this object, it will form the image that is visible to the eye, right? So what we have to find the position of image with this mirror. So this is the mirror we have. And in this case, we can say there is a virtual object we have. So what is the mirror formula? 1 by f equals to 1 by v plus 1 by u. So 1 by v is equals to 1 by f minus 1 by u. So in this one, you have to take u as positive. I hope you all know the sign convention, right? So what is the value of u we have? U is equals to 90 centimeter over here. And what is the focal length for this one? Its radius is 140 mm. So focal length will be the 70 mm over here, right? So you can put the values over here and you will get the result, right? So V you are getting from here is 315 mm. So this 315 mm we are getting for this one. So this is the smaller we have. So this 2 will be the correct answer for this, right? Okay.
This will be in millimeter offices.
Yeah, sorry.
So all are
this
in millimeter here.
Millimeter, right? This is also in millimeter.
Yeah, everything is millimeter, right? So, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with the next question then. So these are integer based questions. So we completed our 20 questions of the section A, 21. A steel rod of length 1 meter and cross section area 10⁻⁴ is heated from 0 to 200. So we are using the logic of strain, but thermal stress and thermal strain, right? The compressive tension. So we know that T by A is equals to Y into del L by L. Yeah. Right? And we can write the delta L by L as alpha del T, right? Yeah. And so we need to find T is equals to YA alpha del T. It's a formula we have learned when we go through. We can write delta theta also if in case you want to write.
So they can put the values as well. So Y is given as 2 into 10 to the power 11 over here into area is given as 10 to the power minus 4 into alpha is given as 10 to the power minus 5 and this is 200 over here, right? So from here you can get this is the 2 to 4 over here and this is 9 to 11. So and this 200 is also to 10 to the power 4 over here. So this is the answer we have,
so
right?
the answer here will be 4.
Yeah, answer will be 4 in this, right? Okay.
So ratio of magnetic field at the center of a current carrying coil of radius R. So center for magnetic field at the center, the formula is mu naught I by 2R.
2R, right?
Is the formula for B at the center. And we are going with the at resistance R from the center. So for a coil at a distance r, the formula is B is equals to mu naught Ni r square by 2 r square plus x square to the power 3 by 2. I hope if you just know the formula for B at the axis and B at the center.
Yeah.
Alright. Here n is 1 for this particular case.
Yeah. So it will be B at center by B at axis. So you can see this mu naught I will be cancelled out. So and this r square and this r becomes r cube, and here is also it will becomes 2r cube, right?
Because x is equals to r.
Yeah. So it will be cancelled out. So it will becomes 1 by 1 and 2 to the power 3 by 2, right?
Right.
So in this case we can get 2 to the power 3 by 2 over here. So
Like
this
root
is
8
simply
cube.
root 8 by 1. So x is equals to 8 over here, right?
The answer for this will be 8.
Yeah.
So I hope you understand. Just go for the ratio, cancel up things, and you can just put the value.
This is
of
basically the formula based.
exactly formula based. So if you would have revised the formula, you would have read this formula with proper sense, you will get the answer for sure. So the next question, two transparent media have refractive index 1 and 1.5 are separated by a spherical refracting surface. I guess it's a very standard question based on refraction through curved surface of radius of curvature 30 cm. The center of curvature of surface is towards the denser medium, and a point of object is placed on the principal axis in the rarer medium. So if I just draw it like this, so I think this is denser medium, and this is rarer medium. The object is kept in the rarer medium at a distance of, this is the object, so this is the object distance, which is minus 15, I should say, with sign convention if I say. And they have talked about the radius of curvature. So r for this is 30 centimeters. So obviously this r will be plus 30 centimeter because by sign convention will be coming like this. Formula to be used is mu2 by v minus mu1 by u equals to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Just we need to put the value of mu2 as 1.5, mu1 as 1, u as minus 15, mu2 again 1.5, mu1 as 1, so minus 1 here, and r equals to plus 30.
Yeah, so we'll get the V as 30.
Right. We'll after solving we get
that.
V.
Yeah,
Right.
we will
Just need to put the values and we'll get the value of V as 30 centimeters.
30 centimeters.
Right. So the number density of free electron in a copper is nearly this. So it's like small n.
Yeah.
Number of electron per unit volume.
So in this one, they have given the area, cross-section area, current as well. They are asking about drift velocity. So we can go for I equals to NEA VD over here.
Very standard formula again.
So VD is equals to I by NEA. Right. So by putting the values, you will get it. So it will be I is as 3.2 over here. And this N is given as 8 into 10 to the power 28. Into A is given as 1.6, 10 to the power minus 19, and area is given as 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 over here, right? So from here you can solve. So this VD is coming out to
1.25, sir.
It will be cancelled out, I think, right? So it will be cancelled out, and this will be 1 by 8 into, you can see this is
10 to the minus 6 is given, sir.
Yeah, it's a 25.
So power thing is there.
Yeah, it will becomes basically minus 3. So we have to write it 1000 by 8 into 10 to the power minus 6. So it is coming out to be 125 into 10 to the power minus 6. So the answer will be 125 in this case, right? So the answer is 125 for this, right?
Standard formula again. If you know the formula, then we can go for it.
Yeah.
So next one is again a very simple standard question. Guitar string of length 90 centimeter vibrates with a fundamental frequency. So whenever we see this formula, frequency is been given as, if I just write the equation, n by 2L into root over T by mu, right? That's how we write the formula. If I just write the formula of frequency. So F is inversely proportional to length. So we can write that F1 by F2 is equals to L2 by L1, right? With
From
this
here
standard.
they will get like F1 is given as what? 120 and F2 is given
180.
as 180. So this is coming out to be L2 by
90 centimeter.
L1 is
90.
90. So 0, 0. And this is 2. 120 by 2 is 60.
Right.
So L2 is coming out to be 60.
Right. So this is all from our side on the paper discussion of physics. Followed by this, we'll get the paper discussion of maths and then chemistry. So I hope this paper must have brought some sense of understanding that what type of preparation we should go forward with. And I hope this will help us to understand that sometime just knowing the formula and doing some relevant application based question will help us. So yeah, carry on. do great. All the best. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone. Today's JEE mains paper is more or less a balanced paper. It contained about organic, inorganic, and the physical paper also. And the calculations are also were not too deep. And I think you all done the chemistry paper very well. So let's start for the discussion. And Dikshit sir is with me. He is also accompanying me so that we can together complete the paper.
Hello everyone, yeah, myself Dikshit, and we'll be taking splitting the questions, and the paper is having the 3 levels: easy, moderate, and tough questions. 3 are compared with this, and we can go for the discussion now. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the question 1, which is pertaining to inorganic chemistry, qualitative analysis, majorly called as practical chemistry. And this is a fundamental question where we give the reagents pertaining to the cation identification. It's merely cation identification. Here we have the first one, the cations identifying here passing through H2S in presence of ammonium hydroxide. So the reagent H2S in presence of basic medium is for the 4th group cations. Group 4 cations are zinc ions, cobalt plus 2, nickel plus 2, and Mn plus 2. So any one of these will give a precipitate with ammonium hydroxide in H2S in presence of ammonium hydroxide. So I'll pick up P with 3. So in the given 4 options, you have option 1 and 3. So I have eliminated already the second and 4th options. Now let me go for the second group, next reagent. That is ammonium carbonate in presence of ammonium hydroxide. That is group 5 reagent. Group 5 reagents are, the cations are barium ions, strontium ions, and calcium ions. Any one of them will precipitate as carbonates. So let's see if one of them is present. So you have Q with 4. Yes, so I've picked up again the first or the third one. Now based on R and S, I have to pick up the correct answer. So ammonium hydroxide in presence of ammonium chloride is group 3 reagents. Group 3 reagents are aluminium ions and ferric ions. So I already have aluminium ions, so I'll go with R2. So therefore option 1, that is the right answer. S is already matched now. The acidic medium gives you the precipitation of the second group cations, that is in the form of copper sulfide, silver, HGS, mercuric sulfide, and lead sulfide. So you have here the presence of copper ions as 1. So S1 is your answer. So that is the first option. So hope many of you all have done correctly. And it's an expected area again. Yeah, this is a second question coming from spectrochemical series. The the ligands are stronger. So observed wavelength will be inversely related to the strength of the ligand. So you all know that cyanide ion is the strongest ligand. So definitely that will have the least wavelength absorbed and highest energy. So definitely I'll pick up cyanide ions, which shows the least wavelength. So option 1 and 3 again, you can eliminate option 2 and 4. Strength of the ligand, cyanide ion is the strongest ligand. Then comes ammonia. Ammonia is again strongest ligand. You can see which of the 4 options has greatest ammonium ions. So here you have 6 ammonia and the remaining have 5 and 5. So I will definitely go for option 1. Cyanide ion stronger than ammonium ion. Then here stronger than, you have water. Then the least comes chloride. So greater the number of chloride ions, less greater will be the wavelength, because chloride ion is the weakest ligand among the 4 given. So let's opt first option again. So let's go for the third question, and this is again K-4. It's again an inorganic question where we have about permanganate ion treated in alkaline conditions. So potassium permanganate, whenever it is treated with iodide ions, giving rise to iodate ions, and manganese dioxide, a brown powder, brown to black powder is obtained in the alkaline conditions. So change in oxidation number of manganese, you all know, from +7 to +4, and in this case -1 to +5. So this is in alkaline, dilute alkaline medium. So definitely out of these, the ions formed will be iodate ion. That is your question. Hope you have answered this also correctly. It's memory based question again. Now here he is asking us the decreasing order of basic character of the compounds, the nitrogens which are given in the given compound. Here you all know that aliphatic amines are more basic than ammonia, than aniline, that is an aromatic amine. Aromatic amines, the nitrogen is directly linked to the aromatic ring where the delocalization of lone pair takes place. So here we have aliphatic amine, only the D, which is attached to the sp3 carbon. The remaining nitrogens are directly attached to the benzene ring, you can see. This is directly attached where the lone pairs are delocalized into the ring. So definitely we'll go with where the option has D highest. So among the 4 options you have D highest. Next also you can eliminate the remaining options in the particular order where you have a methyl showing hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation is present at the para position of methyl group, so it facilitates the lone pair donation. So therefore C is the next one. Then next coming to the A and B. Here A is the least because the methyl group shows steric inhibited protonation. The protonation at the nitrogen is inhibited when the methyl group is at ortho position because of the crowding. So the protonated nitrogen will be unstable. Hence the inhibition takes place. So that will take the last position in giving you the lone pair. So the basic nature will be the least. So here you have option T as a right option where the amino group which is to the sp3 carbon shows the highest basic nature. Yes, the next question. Yeah, next question is will be dealt by physical chemistry, sir. That is Dilshit, sir. Please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the given question belongs to atomic structure and the topic is Heisenberg uncertainty equation. And we know the Heisenberg uncertainty equation as delta x is the position and momentum, which is nothing but I can write it as h by 4 pi. And what is the question they are talking about? Mass of the particle is given, velocity is given, and uncertainty in velocity is given, and they are expecting you to bring the uncertainty in position. And how to bring this position here? I can write delta x is equal to, I can write h by 4 pi into delta p, where I can write this as in terms of mass and velocity, I can write it as m delta v. Now, coming back to the question here, they have given mass of the particle is given. How much is the mass of the particle given? 10 power minus 10 grams is given. Let's convert into kgs, where you will be getting 10 power minus 13 kgs. And the velocity is given as 10 power minus 5 centimeter per second is given. And if I convert into MKS unit, where you will be getting 10 power minus 7 meter per second. And uncertainty is given as 0.001% they have given here. Let's use this and we can write this one as delta V by V into 100, which is given as 0.0001% they have given here. So what we are going to do now is bring the delta V from here. How to bring the delta V, man? Delta V is nothing but 0.0001 into velocity. Already we know the velocity, which is 10 power minus 7 divided by 100. When we do this calculation here, 10 power minus 4, 10 power minus 7 into 10 power minus 2, which is coming out to be 10 power minus 13. So let's bring this delta V and substitute here. Mass we know already. Mass is given as 10 power minus 13. Well, let's substitute the constants here. 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second, 4 into pi value, which is 3.14 into delta V, which is coming out to be 10 power minus 13.
Mass.
And mass is also given, which is 10 power minus 13. And if you take this 10 power minus 26, bring it to the numerator, 10 power plus 26, 10 power minus 34, which is nothing but 10 power minus 8 you will be getting. And let's round off these values, and which is turning out to be your answer as 0.52 you will be getting here. And when this round off to be, I can also write it as 5.2 into 10 power minus 9 meters, which is given in the option 4. Let's go with this answer.
Next question. Okay.
Yeah, and this is from thermochemistry. They have given this question. The combustion of benzene gives carbon dioxide and water. Let's write down this reaction. When you combust the benzene, C6H6, which is given in the liquid state, on combustion in the presence of oxygen in the gas phase, gives rise to carbon dioxide and H2O. Clear? And let's balance this equation. 6 carbons. First, whenever you're balancing it, first go for carbons and nitrogens. Then in the last, go for the oxygen. Right? 6 carbons. So let's write 6. And 6 hydrogens. Let me write this as 3. And let's come to the oxygens. 6 2s are 12 and 3. 15 you will be getting. So this side you will be getting as 15 by 2. Now, what is the question they have given? Heat of combustion of benzene at constant volume. At constant volume is given. So, whenever you are writing heat exchange at constant volume is nothing but the indirectly given internal energy, which is given with the value of minus 3263.9 kilojoules per mole. Clear? At 25 degrees Celsius, and the heat of combustion of benzene at constant pressure. Now they have given heat exchange at constant pressure, which is nothing but called enthalpy. So what they're asking you to calculate enthalpy. In thermochemistry, we learn the relation between these two parameters, where I can write it as delta H is equal to delta U plus delta Mg R into T. So what is the delta U which is given here, which is minus 3263.9 kilojoules per mole plus delta Ng. How to calculate the delta Ng, man? I can bring from here the delta Ng is given as moles of product minus moles of reactant considered only for
Gaseous state.
Considered only for gases. Right? So how many moles of product are there? If you take the physical states, I done a mistake here, just consider them in the gaseous state, water is taken in the liquid form here. Right? So 6 moles are there in the products. I'll be writing 6 minus reactants, which is given as 15 by 2. 6 minus 15 by 2, which is turning out to be minus 3 by 2. So delta Ng is given as minus 3 by 2, and R value, R is given in the question itself, which is 8.314 into temperature. What is the temperature? 25 degrees Celsius, which is nothing but 298 Kelvin.
10 power minus 3. 8.314
And
10
if
power
you
minus
observe
3.
this is in kilojoules per mole, but everything you are writing here in terms of joules. So I'll be dividing with what, man? I'll be dividing with 1000, so that both of them becomes kilojoule per mole. And this value, this is negative value, this is more negative value. So my answer will be turning out to be, when you do the calculation, this turns out to be minus 3267.6 will be the answer for this. Clear? So the question is simple. They have given basic combustion reaction relating with the formula with delta H and delta U. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah, next question is our organic chemistry question, and it's a combination of biomolecules with benzene. So let's see what the reaction is actually telling us. Glucose, when you're treating with HI, you all know powerful reducing agent, hydrogen iodide. It will reduce your glucose to N-hexane. So C6H6, C6H12O6, which is glucose, on treating with HI, it gives N-hexane. N-hexane again on treating with chromic oxide at high pressure. You all know that this phenomenon is called aromatization. Aromatization, where any 6-membered normal alkane and above, say 7-membered, 8-membered and all, they turn out to be benzenoid compounds, or the phenomenon is called aromatization by loss of 4H2O. So N-hexane will become benzene. The reaction is again a free radical reaction. So this will give rise to benzene. Benzene again on treating with chlorine, excess of chlorine in presence of sunlight. It's again a free radical addition reaction where all the 3 pi bonds break and chlorine. So on addition of this, you get hexachloro. You have hydrogen already here, C6H6. So apart from hydrogen, you also have now chlorine, ClH everywhere. So you call this as C6H6Cl6 hexachloro cyclohexane, which is a saturated compound. So we have done addition of benzene at high temperatures, or you can also do in presence of sunlight or UV radiation. Next question, sir. Yeah, this is also an organic question where we are dealing with aniline. Aniline set of reactions are given. By just knowing the function of the reagents, we can know about the products formed also. You know that the reagent over here, sodium nitrite and HCl, is nitroso compound, or when you get here, the you prepare a diazonium ion. This is the product formed, yet the phenomenon is called diazotization. And now you're treating this with copper cyanide, a nucleophilic substitution reaction, Cn minus substitute. What the gas release is N2. So now you get cyanobenzene. Cyanobenzene again is reducing it. Hydrogenation in presence of nickel, we get a primary amine. Any cyanide on treating with hydrogen in presence of eraser. No problem. This you will get as a primary amine. A primary amine, again I am treating with this, becomes an aliphatic amine now. You have the amino group attached to sp3 carbon, mind it. So now you are treating with again HNO2 like how we treated in the beginning. Now this will not give you diazonium ion because it's not an aromatic amine. Aromatic amine will result in diazotization to give rise to diazonium ions, but unlike your aliphatic, they are unstable. Aliphatic diazonium ions are unstable. Hence we get an alcohol. So this is a benzylic alcohol. So option 4 is your answer. Now let's go for the next question. This is again from chemical bonding chapter, became also called generally. It's just checking up the octet rule. Octet rule, you have 4 pairs of electrons. So in the first case, you have carbon dioxide which is satisfying octet. But we have BCl3 which is electron deficient. Boron trichloride has 3 pairs of electrons around boron, 6 electrons. So therefore it is not satisfying octet. So one of the species in the set doesn't obey. So we have to eliminate that option. So I eliminate this option. Going for the second one, here carbon dioxide obeys and sulfur dioxide definitely does not obey because it is beyond octet. Already there are 4 pairs and 1 lone pair. So it is having more than 4 pairs of electrons around sulfur. So therefore this is disobeying. Similarly, sulfur trioxide, it has 12 electrons around it. 12 electrons is also a superoctet. So definitely it is also disobeying. Eliminate this. Next, coming for the fourth, any xenon compound definitely disobeys octet rule because xenon itself will have octet configuration. All right. Already xenon itself has an octet configuration elementarily, but xenon difluoride deviates. Xenon has 3 lone pairs and 2 bond pairs. So 5 pairs of electrons, so it's a deviation. One of them is deviated, you can eliminate the pair set. Now coming to the fourth option where phosphorus trichloride has 1 lone pair, 3 bond pairs, so octet satisfying. Ammonia similarly also has 1 lone pair, 3 bond pairs and satisfying. CCl4 all has 0 lone pairs and you have here 4 bond pairs. All these 3 have only precise species, that is 4 pairs around the central atom. So therefore I will go with the fourth option. Hope you all have done this. Next question. Next question is the physical chemistry. Sir will finish it off.
Yeah. So coming back to this question here, this topic belongs to Dalton's law of partial pressure and the Rolle's law. So let's see the question here. X1 and X2 represents the mole fraction of vapor phase as well as the liquid mixture. So X1 is the mole fraction of vapor phase and X2 is the mole fraction of liquid mixture. and P naught A and P naught B is given in terms of vapors of pure A and B. Now what they're asking in the question, the total vapor pressure of the liquid is how much? Now let's apply this. First we'll be talking about the Rolle's law for the liquid mixture. I can write down this one as partial pressure of A, which is given as P naught A for the pure solvent into mole fraction of the liquid. What is the mole fraction of the liquid they have given? Which is given as X2. Can I take this as the equation 1? And for the vapor phase, we'll be applying the Dalton's law, writing it as partial pressure of A, which is given as the mole fraction of the same gas. Mole fraction of the same gas in the vapor phase is given as X1. So I'll be writing this as X1 into P total, right? So now if you see the options, they're combining both the Rolle's law and the Dalton's law. Let's combine the equation 1 and 2. And when I apply this equation 1 and 2, what you will be getting here, then I can write this as P naught A into X2 is equal to X1 into P total, right? So whereas P total of the mixture, I can write this one simply as P naught A into X2 by X1, right? This turns out to be option 2. Let's go for the next question.
Yes, next question comes from hydrocarbons chapter. It is an alkene area. So it's definitely Markovnikov rule. On when we add water molecules to an unsaturated compound, you just see in acidic medium. So H plus ion is the electrophile. So whenever we add to an unsymmetrical alkene in presence of an H plus ion, the positive charge will be ending up at the tertiary carbon, which is stable. So definitely we get the tertiary carbocation and your hydrogen added here, because tertiary carbon is stabilized by hyperconjugation in this aspect. Now next comes addition of water molecule. The addition of water molecule, which is a nucleophile now. Nucleophile adds to give rise to a tertiary alcohol, which is your A. So here we have to see that A should be a tertiary alcohol. In this, A is a primary, eliminate. Third option also, A is a primary alcohol. Fourth one, A is a tertiary alcohol. We can go with second option. Now here, let us also do with the other way. Coming to the second reagent, where we had hydroboration oxidation. Addition of water in presence of, or hydroxylation in presence of hydroboration oxidation goes according to Karash effect, that is anti-Markovnikov's rule, where we get OH minus added to the carbon having less number of hydrogens. So here more number of hydrogens, just then opposite to this is MKR, and this we have according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule, and therefore we have OH attached to this. So as we have already guessed it with respect to second option, our B option also matches with the same. So our option is 2. All right. And this is also a very commonly asked area whenever we study hydrocarbons compared to alkanes and alkynes. Remember, alkenes is very important. Without alkenes, there is no JEE mains paper. Now, let us go for the next question. Now, this is coming with the inorganic chemistry, which is an inner transition elements, that is lanthanides, where we have the sizes based on lanthanide contraction. We all know that when we move from lanthanum to lutetium, the size decreases due to the pure shielding effect of the F electrons. So it's only one graph which is showing that particular gradation. We see that lanthanum, which is the largest size, when we move to lutetium, the size decreases. This is an ionic radius of all the trivalent ions. All right, we have no divalent ions or the atom size. Here we are discussing about the ionic radius, especially with the trivalent lanthanide ions. So that is a gradual variation when we move from left to right because of the poor shielding effect of the F electrons, 4 F electrons. So that is your option 1. Next question. Now this is a coordination compounds chapter again. We can generally expect 2 questions from this area. Coordination compounds is most significant in among all the chapters of inorganic. So here we are asked about the magnetic nature. Paramagnetism occurs due to the presence of unpaired electrons. So let us see the presence of unpaired electrons will be more, or the spin will be more when there is a weak ligand. You all know that halides are the weakest ligands among, when you have two ligands here is water and iron, fluorine. Fluorine is the weak ligand over here. So I can suspect the answer to be 1. Let's see. Iron is given here. Primary valency of iron over here is +3. Because the oxidation state, you all know how to calculate. X minus 6 is equal to -3 or X is equal to +3. This is the oxidation state. So atomic number of iron is atomic number 26. So when I write 4 is 2, 3d6. This is the configuration of iron. So I have now removed 3 electrons to make Fe +3 state. So when I write the configuration, 4 as 0, 3d, 5. And since it is a weak ligand, no electrons will be involving in pairing up. Pairing up does not take place because the degeneracy, whenever you have the 5d orbitals in presence of the ligand field, especially in the presence of a weak ligand, the d orbitals are not, the electrons in the d orbitals do not involve in pairing. Pairing energy is more than the splitting energy. Splitting energy happens to be lesser than pairing energy. Hence, the configuration will be T2G5, sorry, T2G3, here. Yeah, you have your T2G3 and EG2. All the electrons are singly occupied. No pairing is resulting. Hence, the unpaired electrons are more. Magnetic moment will be mu equal to root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. So, which is roughly mu equal to unpaired electrons are 5. So, root 35, which is around 5.92 or 5.94 Bohr magneton. So, I slightly less than 6. So, which is the highest magnetic moment in d block elements when there are maximum number of unpaired d electrons with respect to the d electrons. Yes, sir. Next question. The main product of the following reactions. Here, this is again an organic question. Again, we got 2 concepts involved in this. One, addition at the double bond, which few people think that it's a normal addition, that is electrophilic addition. Absolutely right. And the electrophile is chlorine. So initially we have our benzene, the alkene attacked with the pi bond. The pi electrons are moving, you have a secondary carbocation, you have cyclic halonium ion formed. When chlorine is added in the form of Cl plus and Cl minus. Cl plus is the electrophile that will reach the pi bond. When it reaches the pi bond, it forms a cyclic halonium ion. And now you're in presence of anhydrous AlCl3, this carbocation will attack the para position of your alkoxy group. So we get a ring formation with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this carbon is having a CH2Cl. Sorry. Yeah. This is the compound which is expected to be formed. And this is an EAS reaction, electrophilic aromatic substitution, and electrophile is your carbocation that will attack your para position. And then you get your CH2Cl. That's what we have written. And this is an electrophilic addition. Alright, so during which we create another electrophile. This is the electrophile which is attacking an alkene, creating an electrophile to attack at the para position. So the option should be 1. Alright, next question, sir. Now this is again a gel-dance method, so quantitative analysis in organic chemistry. So we have one of the question asked in practical organic chemistry also. So this here we have asked about gel-dance method to calculate the percentage of nitrogen, which is nothing but 1.4 into number of equivalents of ammonia divided by weight of organic compound. Here NV is nothing but number of equivalents of ammonia, which is equal to number of equivalents of H2SO4 used. Now, how will I know how much amount of sulfuric acid equivalents have been used? Here in the question we have that the weight of the organic compound is given as 0.35 grams, and they have initially used excess of sulfuric acid. Since we do not know how much of ammonia is being released from the organic compound, we initially take enough of sulfuric acid. So the equivalents of sulfuric acid used initially are 100 milliequivalents we are using here, because you're taking 100 ml. 100 into molarity of sulfuric acid is given as 1 by 10. So the N factor is 2. So you take it as basicity of sulfuric acid, which is 2 over here. So the equivalents will be 20 milliequivalents of sulfuric acid being used, or rather added. But how many are used? How will I know? He said that the unreacted acid is being using some amount of sodium hydroxide, which means that certain amount of sulfuric acid is left over after neutralizing the ammonia produced from the organic compound. So what is the amount of the number of equivalents of base is equal to number of equivalents of excess acid. So what is the excess acid over here? 154 into molarity is given as 1 by 10. So basicity is acidity of sodium hydroxide is 1. So 1 by 10, which is nothing but 0.1, which is 15.4 milliequivalents of NaOH, which is equal to excess leftover H2SO4. So we have here amount of sulfuric acid used by ammonia will be equal to equivalents of ammonia. How will I know amount of equivalents of sulfuric acid used by ammonia? By subtracting this 15.4 from 20. So N into V, equivalents of H2SO4 used by milliequivalents of sulfuric acid used by ammonia is equal to 20 minus 15.4, which is 4.6 milliequivalents, which is actually equal to milliequivalents of ammonia. So this I will substitute in the given equation, the formula for the percentage of nitrogen, which is 1.4 into 4.6 by 0.35, which is nothing but 56%. Sorry, 18.4%. So yeah, sorry, this you'll get it as 18.4%. So that is the percentage of nitrogen when we do the calculations of this part. So this is most commonly asked area. So resonance thought that every student should know the concept of quantitative analysis, and that is the reason this question is being revised in the mock test. Yes, sir. Let's go for the next question. Yeah, this is solubility.
Yeah. Okay. So the solubility of AgCl will be maximum in which of the following? So if you are taking AgCl, which is nothing but the insoluble salt, so obviously I can write down the reaction. I can write this one as Ag plus and Cl minus. And now they are asking how to calculate the solubility. The solubility of AgCl will be maximum in which of the following? If you know this, solubility is inversely proportional to the common ion effect. So what I am trying to say is, whenever the common ion is coming in the options, because of common ion, what will happen? The common ion percentage increases and the reaction goes in backward direction and the alpha value will be decreased. So if I am taking with the option 1, KCl, you will be having a common ion which is nothing but the Cl minus, and here also there is a common ion which is Cl minus. In the option 3, there will be Ag plus, which is a common ion. But if I take the water, deionized water, if I take it, now what will be the ions present here? This will be present with H plus and OH minus, right? So as there is no common ion, I can say the solubility will be more in the case of deionized water compared with the 1, 2, 3 and option. So I can go with the option 4, right? So going for the next question. So what they have given here, hydrolysis of sucrose gives in the presence of water to give glucose and fructose, and they have given equilibrium constant. Kc is given for the reaction as this is something
10
2
power
into
13.
10 power 13 which is given here, and calculate the delta G naught. As they are talking in equilibrium condition, I can write this as, we know the general formula, delta G is equal to delta G naught plus RT ln Q. In the case of equilibrium condition, I can say delta G becomes 0 and Q becomes equal to the equilibrium constant Kc. Then I can write down the equation as delta G naught is equal to minus RT ln K. Sorry for this.
Kc. No problem. You can write there.
You can write this as K, right? Which is nothing but I can substitute the values. R value which is given as 8.314 joule per Kelvin. Temperature they have given as 300 Kelvin. Let's substitute it. Ln K value. K is given in the question as 2 into 10 power 13. Right? If you have a doubt, you can convert this into the log values also, which I can write it as minus 8.314, 300 Kelvin, 2.303 log of 2 into 10 power 13. I can do this value aside, writing that log A plus log B, which is log 2 plus log 10 power 13. Log 2 value is 0.3. Log 13 I can write it as 13 log 10, which is nothing but 1. I can write this one as 13.3. If I substitute this value, and I can write this final value directly as minus 7.64 into 10 power 4 joule per mole. You can write this, and this will go with an option 4, but this is given as 104. Please write this as 10 power 4 joule per mole. Okay. Going for the next question, and
Yes. Yeah, this particular question is a mole concept question. First of all, by oxidation number change method, we try to know the coefficients of every component in the given reaction. Let's say aluminium plus HNO3 given you ammonium nitrate, aluminium nitrate and water. Let's say the oxidation number changes. Oxidation number change of aluminium, which is 0 initially, is now turning out to be plus 3. It is oxidized to plus 3 state. So change in oxidation number, you just register as 3. Similarly, oxidation number of nitrogen is plus 5. Where there is a change only I have to record. Here also we have nitrate, here also we have nitrate. So we don't look for that. We here see the nitrogen in the form of ammonium ion, where the oxidation number of nitrogen is minus 3. So change in oxidation number will be plus 5 to minus 3, which is 8 electrons have been gained. Here 3 electrons have been lost. Swap the oxidation numbers and write their coefficients. So I will write the change undergone by nitrogen as coefficient of aluminium. And here I write in my mind, because I have to also balance the nitrates, still I have to keep it aside. You have your nitrates and you have your 8 aluminium and you have your still ammonium. Keep in your mind 3 ammonium nitrates and you have 8 Al NO3 taken thrice NH2. Okay. Now see the nitrates which have been not undergoing any change, which I call it as spectator ions. What are the number of spectator ions? 3 nitrates, 8 3s are 24. So therefore 27 nitrates are spectator ions. So which I have to add over here also. 27 plus 3, totally I have 30 nitric acid. But out of the 30, only 3 ions are undergoing reduction. So 8 moles of aluminium reduce 3 moles of nitrate. The question asked here is 1 mole of nitric acid. So 1 mole of nitric acid will be reduced by how many moles of aluminium? So we have here 1 into 8 by 3, which is 8 by 3. moles are just enough. So option 3, that's how we complete. You need not balance oxygens also. If you want, you can also balance 33s, 90 oxygens over here. We have here 3 3s and 9, 9 8, 72 oxygens over here, and 3 3s and 9. So you have about 81 oxygens. So I'm still left with 9. So put 9H2O. So that anyway we will not be using in the concept of this particular redox reaction. Let us go for the next question, sir.
So this question is given from atomic structure, and the topic is regarding the Rydberg equation. So before that, let's start with, let's see what is the Rydberg equation, and then it's a formula substitution itself. Rydberg equation, which is given as 1 by lambda is equal to Rz square, which is 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. Now see the conditions here. First, they are talking about the shortest wavelength of hydrogen atom, which is given in the Lyman series, which is given as lambda 1. The next one, they are talking about longest wavelength in Balmer series, which is talking for the helium ion. Let's start the two conditions. Let's substitute it and check it. See, first one, 1 by, in the case of Lyman series, let's write it as the lambda L, which is equal to R. Which atom they are talking about? Hydrogen atom. So which is 1 square, 1 by. Now in the case of shortest wavelength, what is the shortest wavelength of Lyman series, man? I can write N1 value will be 1 and N2 I can take it as infinity, right? So which is 1 by 1 minus 1 by infinity, which I can simply write it as wavelength in Lyman series is equal to R. Now the second condition, what they are talking about, longest wavelength of Balmer series. In the case of Balmer series, N value 1 will be 2 and N2 I can simply write it as equal to 3. Let us substitute in the Rydberg equation. What you will be getting here? 1 by lambda of Balmer series, which I can write it as R, and talking about which atom here? They are talking about helium. So Z value will be 2, which is turning out to be 4. 1 by N1 square, which is taken as 4. 1 by 3 square, I can write it as 9. Now what I can write here? When I do the calculation, lambda B, which is equal to 4R, and this one turns out to be 5 by 36, which I can write it as
5R by 9.
5R by 9, and lambda B, I can write it as this as 9 by 5R, right? So what I can write here? 1 by lambda is equal to R, which we are written here. So I can write it as lambda B is equal to 9 by 5 into 1 by R. I can write it as wavelength in Lyman series, which is turning out to be lambda B is equal to 9 lambda by 5. Clear with this point here? As they are talking about this one as lambda 1, the answer is turned out to be 9 lambda by 5, going with an option 4. Let's see the next question here.
Yeah, once again we come to chemical kinetics. This is with related to the T half of a reaction. So whenever we have, sir. Yeah. So here we have a half-life period which is given, we have to calculate because he has given us the rate constant of first order kinetics. You all know that K is equal to ln by T half. Rate constant of a reaction is ln2 by T half, where we have the T half of the reaction now to be calculated, which is ln2 by K, which is given as 6.93 into 10 power minus 3. ln2, everybody knows that it is 0.693. So just substitute 0.693 by 6.93 into 10 power minus 3, which is account to be 100 minutes. Because that rate constant is given as per minute. Now we are given what is the percentage of A which will be left at end of 300 minutes. So we know that how will we calculate the number of T halves? Number of T halves is equal to given time by T half, which is 300 by 100, which is 3 T halves. So the first T half, what is the fraction completed? So if you have initial amount 100 for the first T half, it will be coming down to 50%. That is first T half. Second T half, it will coming down to 25%, half of it again. Third T half, again 25% will be coming down to 12.5%. This is a shortcut. Otherwise, what you people will be using is K equal to 2.303 by 300 log A by A minus X, where K you'll substitute as 0.693 by T half. So this method also you can apply, but we are using our chemistry time for math and physics. So always we need to rush with the techniques what we have to do. Every time when we have some method to be applied, try to apply the shortcut method. All right, so this is the answer. Next question. Let's go for the next question. This is an organic question. The integer form question we are coming down to. Here he has given us how many of the following compounds which are giving rise to reduction and aldol condensation as well as iodoform reaction. So we should know that alkenes do not get reduced by lithium aluminium hydride. So eliminate this option. First category is done. So remaining compounds, they are carbonyl compounds, so they will be getting reduced by lithium aluminium hydride. Based on the first reagent, we have eliminated the second one. Sodium hydroxide, that is using he's asking us to consider the condensations. At least one alpha hydrogen should be present. So this is one which is containing one alpha hydrogen. So this is kept in my mind. This does not have, so I will eliminate this. Similarly, this has alpha hydrogen, so I'll keep this in my mind. This, with respect to aldehyde, we cannot, but with respect to ketones, I can keep in my mind. Similarly, here also aldehydic hydrogen, which does not have alpha hydrogen, so it does not undergo aldol condensation. Similarly, this can undergo. Now, next confirmation is iodoform reaction. Iodoform reaction, you should have a methyl keto group. This is a necessary condition for you to assess whether the compound will react with iodine and NaOH, especially they are carbonyl compounds. So let us see those carbonyl compounds which have 3 alpha hydrogens. So option 1, yes, it has 3 alpha hydrogens. So you get iodoform and formic acid. Similarly, second, I've already eliminated. Third, I've already eliminated. Fourth, now I will eliminate because it has only 2 alpha hydrogens. At 1 alpha position itself, I should have 3. So I have crossed fourth 2. Now let us go for the fifth one. Fifth one, you have here 3 alpha hydrogens. Yes, let me go for this. Let's go for the sixth one. I've already eliminated. Now coming to the seventh one. Seventh has alpha hydrogens. Definitely methyl ketone. So 1, 5, 7. These are the 3 compounds which can show all the 3 tests. That is reduction, aldol condensation and iodoform. Let's go for the next question. This is a complex compound which is undergoing ionization to 40%. So it is your Nessler's reagent K2HgI4. It dissociates to form 2 K plus ions and HgI4 minus 2. So total number of particles are 3. He is asking us the value of Van 't Hoff's factor. Van 't Hoff's factor I. You all know that this is the number of giving you the number of particles after complete dissociation. Here he is giving you only 40% dissociation. Alpha I is equal to I minus 1 by N minus 1. This is the formula for your degree of dissociation, which is nothing but particles are given here. N is the number of particles after dissociation. You understand? So you have to calculate I. Alpha is given as 0.4. 40 by 100 is 0.4. I minus 1 by 3 minus 1, which is 0.8, is equal to I minus 1, or I is equal to 1.8. He is asking us to express in 10 power minus 1. So I can write this as 18 into 10 power minus 1. So your answer is 18. Next question. This is an electrochemical series here. Dichromate ion is given in acidic medium. You all know it will be reduced to Cr plus 3. And he's asking the current in amperes that flows through cell of 48.25 minutes. So you know that Q is equal to IT. Q is a charge which we are going to consider now. Let's consider here you are given dichromate ion which is accepting 6 moles of electrons to form Cr plus 3. But he's asking to reduce 1 mole of chromium ions. So I will take 3 Faraday instead of 6 Faraday, for which is used for 2 moles of chromium. Now I will use 3 moles of electron to get 1 mole of Cr plus 3. Or rather, you can write it at half dichromate ion. All right, 3 moles of electron to give you Cr plus 3. So 3 Faraday. So I can use 3 into 96,500. This is the Faraday value in terms of coulombs, which is equal to I into time, which is already given as 48.25 into 60, because that is given in minutes. I need to convert it to seconds. So I is equal to 3 into 96,500 by 48.25 into 60. You get 100 amperes. Solve that, you'll get. All right, so this is a important concept to know Faraday's first law. The next question. Here you are given with respect to the OH group, that is your hydroxy group in a polyhydric alcohol compounds, whose molar mass is 92 grams. And here he is giving you the volume of hydrogen liberated at STP by when you have used sodium metal. You all know that whenever an alcohol is treated with metallic sodium, you know sodium alkoxide and hydrogen gas is formed. All right, this is the equation. Or when you use whatever the number of moles of OH groups are present, they are responsible for the liberation of hydrogen gas. So let's write that. Applying your POAC for hydrogen atoms. You know what is POAC, principle of atomic conservation? We are going to apply that for hydrogen over here. So let's say if X moles are present over here. So same number of X mole, 2 into equivalents of hydrogen or moles of hydrogen atoms you are going to get. So let us see here. He has given us, we do not know what the number of moles of OH are. So let us take X, and the number of hydrogens, how will I know, per mole is 1.84 milligrams he has taken. That is in terms of grams. If I convert, it will be 10 power minus 3 divided by, if I consider the gram molar mass, this is the weight of moles of hydrogen atoms, which is equal to, which will be liberating in the form of volume of the gas, that is 1.344. How will I convert a given volume of hydrogen into number of moles? By dividing by gram molar volume, that is 22.4 liters. Liters to ml I am considering, so multiply with 3. This into 2, because every 1 mole of hydrogen has 2 hydrogens. I am equating to atoms of hydrogen, so that's the reason I have to multiply this. You understand? Now X I have to solve. So X is equal to 1.344 into 2, all right, divided into 92, divided by 22.4 into 10 power 3 into 1.84 into 10 power minus 3. I can cancel this, and this will account to 6. So we can say that X is nothing but the number of OH groups which we have initially considered. So finally, the given compound whose molar mass is 92 is consisting of 6 OH groups. All right. So you can remember this. This is a mole concept area where we are always getting one question from mole concept in JEE mains. Every shift consists one question at least. The next question, this is again a thermodynamics chapter where we can say that the amount of, the energy which is given is 60 watts. And he is giving you the power as 60 watts, which is the electric heater is immersed in a gas for 100 seconds in a constant volume. So you know that when I want the energy in total energy used in 100 seconds will be 60 into 100, which is 6,000 joules. That is the total energy. Q is equal to ms delta T. So we got the 6,000 joules of energy. This is the molar specific heat, which is heat capacity, sorry. This is called as the heat capacity, which I am going to find out. Heat capacity into what are the difference in the heat? He is already given, it is raised by 5 degrees. So delta T is already given as 5. So therefore, heat capacity is equal to 6,000 joules by 5 degrees, which is 1200 joules is the heat capacity of the given heater or the water which is kept in that heater. Heater which is kept in the water. Yeah, per Kelvin, sorry. Because this is for 5 degrees, we require 6,000. So per Kelvin, we use only 1200 joules for the water to raise its temperature by that immersion rod or the electric heater which is kept in a gas. Actually, this is a gas specific heat capacity. All right, so this completes the paper chemistry part, and hope you have understood all the solutions. If there are any queries, please do post to Resonance. We will try to clarify the things. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So let's move on with our mathematics discussion. Okay, so Sagar sir will start with our first question.
The first question here is integration 0 to 10 greatest integer x e power greatest integer x upon e power of x minus 1. This can be written integration 0 to 10 greatest integer of x into e power of greatest integer x minus x plus 1. Now break the integral from 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and so on. So this can be written integration 0 to 1 greatest integer x, it will be simply 0. So it will be 0 to anything, it will be 0. Next integral will be 1 to 2. In the interval of 1 to 2, greatest integer x value will be 1. So 1 times of e power. If it will be 1, so it will be 1 plus 1. So it will be 2 minus x. It will be 2 minus x plus integration 2 to 3. It will be 2 times e power. If this value is 2, 2 plus 1, 3. So it will be 3 minus x. And this pattern will goes up to integration 9 to 10. 9 times e power of, if we will put here 9, so 9 plus 1, it will be 10. So it will be 10 minus x. So the first integral, it will be 0. So the integration of this will be e power of 2 minus x minus outside. We have to apply limit from 1 to 2. So this will be 2 times e power of 3 minus x minus outside. We have to apply limit from 2 to 3, and this series will be continue up to 9 times e power of 10 minus x minus 1 outside, and we have to apply limit from 9 to 10. So the value of the first term here is minus of, if we will put x equals to 2, so it will be e power 0, it will be 1 minus e power 1. So it will be minus 2 times of, if we will put 3 here again same, so it will be 1 minus e. Similar, this series goes up to minus 9 times of 1 minus e. So if we will multiply minus inside, it will be e minus 1 1 times, e minus 1 2 times, and so on up to e minus 1 9 times. So it will be e minus 1, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and so on up to 9. So it will be equals to e minus 1 into half of 9 into 10. It will be 45 times of e minus 1. So you can see option 1 correct. Now question number 2.
Okay, so question number 2 is let the length of intercept on x and y axis are made by the circle. Okay, so what is the formula of length of intercept? That is 2 times g square minus c, which is given as 2 root 2, and length of y intercept is 2 times under root f square minus c, that is 2 root 5. 2 is getting cancelled. So from this we are getting g square minus c equal to 2 and f square minus c equal to 5. Subtract these to given equation. So it will be g square minus f square equal to minus 3. Now by comparing it to second degree general equation of circle, 2g equal to a. So g equal to a by 2. So this will become a square by 4 minus a square equal to minus 3. So from this solving we got a square equal to 4. So we got a value as plus 2 and minus 2, but plus 2 is rejected as a is negative. So we got a equal to minus 2. Okay, let's put it in this equation. So we are having f square minus c equal to 5. So a square minus c equal to 5. A is 2. So this will be 5. So we got c as minus 1. Now putting value of a and c in the given equation, it will be x square plus y square minus 2x minus 4y minus 1 equal to 0. By completing the square method, this will be x minus 1 whole square plus y minus 2 whole square equal to 6. Now we know equation of tangent to any circle is y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1 plus minus a under root 1 plus m square. Here x1 y1 are center of the circle and a is radius. And what is m? M is the slope of the tangent form. Okay, so we can find slope of tangent from this part. So given line is x plus 2y equal to 0. So its slope is what? Minus 1 by 2. But we want to find a line which is perpendicular to this line. So perpendicular to this line will have slope equal to 2. Correct? So here it will be y minus 2 is equal to 2 times x minus 1 plus minus a is root 6 and m is 2. So it will be root 5. So we got the equation of tangent as 2x minus y plus minus root 30 equal to 0. Now we have to find its perpendicular distance from the origin, that is ax1 plus by1 plus c upon root of a square plus b square. So this will be plus minus root 30 upon under root of 2 square plus 1 square. So that will be root 30 upon root 5, that is root 6. Because perpendicular distance is the shortest distance, so our answer is root 6. Okay, so let's move on to next question.
Now, next one question here is of complex number. If we will assume this expression as t, if we will assume this expression as t, so what we can write here? Simply this expression as t. So it will be e power t times of log base e 2, and this can be written e power log base e 2 power t. So it will be simply equals to 2 power t. So what we can write here? 2 raised to power t is mod z plus 3 into mod z minus 1 divided by mod z plus 1. Positive mod, so we can remove the mod here. It will be greater than equals to, so mod of x plus iota y under root of x square plus y square. So 5 root 7 whole square. 5 root 7 whole square, it will be 25 into 7, 175 plus 81. So it will be 256. Under root of 256 will be 16. So it will be log base root 2 16. So what we can write here? 2 power mod z plus 3 into mod z minus 1 divided by mod z plus 1 greater than equals to. So 16 can be written 2 power 4 and 2 power 4 can be written root 2 power 8. So log base root 2 power 8. So can we simply write 8 here? Log base root 2 power 8. So 2 power mod z plus 3 into mod z minus 1 divided by mod z plus 1 greater than equals to 8 can be written to power 3. So simply we can write mod z plus 3 into mod z minus 1. It will be divided by mod z plus 1 greater than equals to 3. Now simply go for cross multiplication. So mod z plus 1 into this, it can be written mod z whole square minus 1 times plus 3 times. 2 times of mod z minus 3 greater than equals to 3 mod z plus 3. So mod z whole square, 2 minus 3 it will be minus 1, minus 3 minus 3 minus 6, it is greater than equals to 0. So mod z minus 3 into mod z plus 2 greater than equals to 0. Any positive factor does not affect the answer of inequality. Simply we can write mod z greater than equal to 3. Question requirement, we have to find list value. So list value will be simply 3. Now next one question.
Okay, so we have to find the solution of this differential equation. As we can see, we can directly use homogeneous equation, because when we put y equal to vx, all the x will get cancelled. But here I am using exact differential equation. So what is exact formula here? X dy minus y dx. For converting into differentiation of y by x, I will divide it by x square. Similarly, this will become under root of x square plus y square into dx divided by x square. So this is exact differential of y by x. Now I will take 1x inside. It will be 1 plus y by x whole square into dx by x. Correct? Just transfer this thing here. It will be d of y by x upon under root of 1 plus y by x whole square is equal to dx upon x. Now just integrate both sides. So what is integration of 1 upon under root a square plus x square? That is ln x plus under root of 1 plus x square is equal to, it will be ln x. Correct? Now the constant I will take as ln c, because everything was in log. So what is log a plus log b? Log a plus log b is ln c into x. take LCM here. It will be ln y plus under root x square plus y square upon x. Log and log is cancelled. So y plus under root x square plus y square, we got it as cx square. Correct? So it's coming out to be option number 4. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Now, next one question is based on series. So, I'm assuming, let's say this expression is equals to alpha. So, alpha is equals to sigma n equals to 1 to 20, sigma m equals to 1 to 20, tan inverse of m by n. Put the value of m from 1 to 20. So, what we can write, alpha will be equals to sigma n equals to 1 to 20. It will be tan inverse of 1 by n plus tan inverse of 2 by n, and this series will goes up to tan inverse of 20 by n. Now we have to put value of n from 1 to 20. So if we will put n equals to 1, so it will be tan inverse of 1 by 1 plus tan inverse of 2 by 1, and this series will goes up to tan inverse of 20 by 1. Now put n equals to 2. If we will put n equals to 2, it will be tan inverse of 1 by 2 plus tan inverse of 2 by 2, and last term is tan inverse of 20 by 2. Now this series will goes up to n equals to 20. So last one will be tan inverse of 1 by 20 plus tan inverse of 2 by 20, and so on up to tan inverse of 20 by 20. So we have to find sum of all these terms. So if you will visualize the data here, all the diagonal terms, 1 by 1 is also 1, 2 by 2 is also 1, 20 by 20 is also 1. So tan inverse 1, tan inverse 1, tan inverse 1, how many times? 20 times. So alpha can be written, it will be 20 times of tan inverse 1, which will be equals to pi by 4, plus it can be written, if you will try to visualize here, tan inverse 2, it is cot inverse 2, tan inverse 2 with the combination of cot inverse 2, it will be pi by 2. So every term will combine and it will be simply equals to pi by 2. So how many number of terms are above the diagonal? In total terms, 400, 400 minus 20, it will be 30, 30 divided by 2, it will be 190. So 190 times what we are getting here, pi by 2, because every term this will be merged with this will be merged with this, and so on up to this. So what we are getting, alpha value is, it will be 5 pi plus 95 pi, it is simply equals to 100 pi. Question requirement is sigma p equals to 1 to 3, sigma r equals to 1 to p, alpha which is calculated 100 pi. So 100 pi common can be written outside, sigma p equals to 1 to 3, 100 pi into. So when r equals to 1, it is 1, r equals to it is 1, so sigma 1, it will be simply p. Now 100 pi constant outside. So when p is equals to 1, when p is equals to 1, it will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. So it will be equals to 100 pi into 6. So final answer is 600 pi. It's very simple question. It is most general question also. This type of question most of the time asked in JEE mains also. Now next one question. So because you have to find your lambda pi, so answer will be simply 600. Now next one question is.
So our next question is, let the set S is given from 1 to 100 numbers, and we have to find the number of subset, non-empty subset, in which the product of element of A is even. So what we will find, we will take the total number of subset and subtract the subsets which are having multiple as odd, because this will be the easy part. So what is the total number of non-empty subset? The formula is directly 2 to the power n minus 1. 2 to the power n minus 1. So for total, it will be 2 to the power 100 minus 1 minus odd 1. Okay. From 1 to 100, odd numbers will be 1, 3, 5 up to what? 99. So number of element in this will be 50. So non-empty subsets will be 2 to the power 50 minus 1. That will be equal to 2 to the power 100 minus 2 to the power 50. Easily we can take 2 to the power 50 common, that is 2 to the power 50 minus 1, which is option number 2. Okay, let's move on to next one.
Now next one question is, this is a question of limit extending to 0, e power 2 times of sin x minus 2 times of mod sin x minus 1 divided by x square. When x is tending to 0, sin x also tending to 0. So if we will divide by sin square x and multiply by sin square x, it will be simply 1 square, it will be 1. And if we will consider mod sin x equals to t, so when x is tending to 0, t will be tending to 0 plus, it will be e power 2t minus 2t minus 1, it will be 1, and it will be equals to sin square x simply can be written t square. So t tending to 0 to 0 by 0 format. In 0 by 0 format, either you can apply the expansion here because there is a standard format question, or we can solve this question by L'Hopital also. So we will apply the L'Hopital differentiation of numerator 2 times e power 2t minus 2 divided by 2t. So it can be written limit t tending to 0, 2 can be cancelled, e power 2t minus 1 divided by 2. Divided by 2, multiply by 2, and this is a standard limit, it will be 1, so 2 into 1, answer will be simply 2. So answer is option 4. Now next one question.
The value of 2 sine pi by 8, sine 2 pi by 8, and so on, it's moving on. As we can see, 7 sine 7 pi by 8 will be equal to sine pi by 8. By which logic? Sine pi minus theta is equal to what? Sine theta. So this will be equal to sine pi by 8. Similarly, sine 6 pi by 8 will be equal to sine 2 pi by 8, and sine 5 pi by 8 will be equal to sine 3 pi by 8. So this question will be 2 sine square pi by 8 into sine square 3 pi by 8. Correct? Now this will become sine square 2 pi by 8. Now 2 and 2 cancel, so sine pi by 4. Okay. Now we can write it as sine pi by 8 into sine 3 pi by 8 whole square, and sine square pi by 4 will become 1 by 2. So these are cancelled. We know the formula of 2 sine A, sine B. So we will just multiply it by 2 and divide it by 2. So 2 sine A sine B is cos A minus B. So pi by 8 minus 3 pi by 8 minus cos A plus B, that will become 4 pi by 8 whole square upon 2. That is cos pi by 2, which is equal to 0. Okay. Now this will become cos square pi by 4 upon 4. 2 square will become 4. And what is cos pi by 4? That is 1 by root 2, and its square will become 1 by 2. So answer will be 1 by 8. Okay. So let's move on to next one.
Now next one question is a complex number. Here if you will see this equation both having the similar format. So I'm solving the question is a generalized way. So real part of z, it is given equals to mod of z minus 1. So if we will consider z equals to x plus iota y, real part of z it will be simply x plus iota y minus 1 mod. So x can be written x minus 1 plus iota y mod. So after squaring, x square can be written, it will be simply x minus 1 whole square plus y square. So x square is equals to x square minus 2x plus 1 plus y square. X square cancel. So what we are getting, y square equals to 2x minus 1. As you can see here, both are similar equations. So this equation will be true for x1, y1 as well as it will be true for x2, y2. So y1 square, it will be equals to 2x1 minus 1. Y2 square, it will be equals to 2x2 minus 1. So this is equation first, this is equation second. So first minus second. What we will get here? A square minus b square. So it will be y1 minus y2 into y1 plus y2. On the right hand side, 2 times of x1 minus x2. So y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2 into y1 plus y2, it is given equals to 2. One more information is given in the question, argument of z1 minus z2. So argument of z1 minus z2, it can be written, z1 minus z2 means x1 minus x2 plus iota times of y1 minus i2. It is given equals to pi by 6. So argument of this complex number, it can be written y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2, and 10 of pi by 6, it will be simply 1 by root 3. If we will put this data in the equation third, what we will get here? y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2 is 1 by root 3. So 1 over root 3 into y1 plus y2, it is given equals to 2. So y1 plus y2 is 2 root 3. And that is the requirement of question, sum of imaginary part of the z1 plus z2. Now next one question.
Okay, so there are two teams given, A and B, comprising of some boys and girls. In team A, there are 7 boys and n girls. Okay, and in team B, there are 4 boys and 6 girls. Now they are saying that if a total of 52 single matches can be arranged between these two teams, with when a boy plays against a boy. Okay, so a boy will be playing against a boy and a girl will be playing against a girl. So how to select a boy? So number of matches between boy will be 7c1, take a boy from here and take a boy from here. So 4c1. Or it can be between the girls. So it will be nc1 into 6c1. And it is given as total matches formed is 52. So 7 into 4, that will be 28. And this will be 6n is equal to 52. So we got 6n as equal to 24. So we got n as equal to 24. So number of girls is what? 4. Okay. So let's move on to next one.
Now next one question, we have to find number of integral coordinate inside of the triangle whose vertices are given. So let's draw the triangle here on the coordinate axis. So the vertices are 0, 0, 41, 0 and 0, 41. If we will draw the line here, which will pass through 1, 0 and 0, 1, this will be one line. Similar line passing through 2, 0 and 0, 2, this will be this line. So this line equation will be x plus y equals to 1, another line equation will be x plus y equals to 2, and this series will goes up to x plus y equals to 40, because interior word is used here, so we have to count the number of points that lies inside of the triangle only, not on the periphery. So how many integral point which lies on this line which having integral coordinate? So it will be 0, 1, 1, 0, but both points are on the periphery of the triangle or on this side of the triangle, so both are rejected, so it will be simply number of points 0. It can be written 0, 2, 1, 1, 2, 0, but 0, 2, 0, 2, or 2, 0, these are the point on the boundary of the triangle, so it will be simply 1 point. So if we will consider the series up to the last line, it will be 0, 40, 2, 40, 0, and 139, here it will be 39, 1. So 0, 40 and 40, 0, it will be cancelled, so 1 to 39, so we can say 39 point lies on the last line with having integral coordinate. So answer simply will be equals to sum of first 39 natural number, because addition of 0 it will be no role in addition. So answer will be 1 by 2 and into n plus 1 it will be equals to 780. So we can say option 2 is correct. Now next one question.
So our next question is coefficient of x to the power 101 in this expansion. Okay, it's a question of binomial theorem, but we will use some part of geometric progression here because there is some common ratio in all the term. What is the common ratio? If you will see, we will divide this term by this term. You will get what? X upon, it will be x upon 5 plus x, correct? It will be this upon this. Okay, so sum of n term of GP is what? A r to the power n minus 1 upon r minus 1. So what is a term here? A term is 5 plus x to the power 500. R term is x upon 5 plus x to the power 501. See here, it's starting from 500 and it's here 5 plus x to the power 0. So number of terms will be 501 minus 1 upon x upon 5 plus x minus 1. Okay. Now just take LCM here. After taking LCM, it will be 5 plus x to the power 500 and it will be x to the power 501 minus 5 plus x to the power 501 upon 5 plus x to the power 501 divided by, it will be minus 5 upon 5 plus x, correct? So see, this and this all together will get cancelled. So it will be minus 1 by 5 x to the power 501 plus 1 by 5 plus x to the power 501. From here we will not get the x to the power 101 term. So from here only we have to check. So its general format will be NCR 501 C101 x to the power 101 5 to the power 400. So this will be the coefficient. Okay. So it will be 501 C101 5 to the power 399. So this will be our final answer. Okay. Let's move on to next one.
Now next one question is, these three terms are in AP and these three terms are also in AP. So if you will visualize this angle, it is 180 by 9, so it will be simply 20. So tan 20 x and tan of it will be equals to 180 by 18, 10 into 770. And if these three are in AP, so twice of middle term it will be equals to first plus third. So 2x will be equals to this plus this. So x value simply equals to 1020 plus 1070 by 2. Similar for this one here, tan of pi by 9, so it will be tan of 20 degree y and tan of 50 degree. These are also in AP. So 2 times of middle term it can be written first term plus third term. So in the question we have to find mod of x minus 2y. Now mod of x minus 2y it will be equals to 1020 plus 1070 by 2 minus of 1020 and minus of 1050. We have to find mod of this. Minus multiply inside the bracket, so this term will also be minus. So it can be written 1020 by 2 half times or 1020 half times 1020 minus 1 times. So it will be minus 1 by 2 of 1020. 1070 can be directly written cot 20, so cot 20 by 2, and it will be minus of 1050. minus of 1050. Now next one is, it will be equals to half common cot 20 minus tan 20. Cot 20 can be written cos 20 by sin 20 minus tan 20 can be written sin 20 by cos 20, and tan 50 can also be written as cot 40. So it will be equals to half of cos square theta minus sin square theta, cos 2 theta. So it will be equals to cos 40 and 2 sin 40 cos 40. Combining all these three terms, it can be written equals to sin 40. So minus of cot 40. So cos upon sin cot 40 minus cot 40, it will be simply equals to 0. Now next question.
So here given a matrix A in which cos theta I sin theta is given. So for finding a to the power 5, we will make a pattern. So first we will find a square. A square can be found out by cos theta I sin theta cos theta multiplied by again by a, that is cos theta I sin theta and cos theta. Just multiply it here only. So it will be a square will be equal to cos square theta plus I square sin square theta. I square is minus 1. So cos square minus sin square will become cos 2 theta. Again I sin theta cos theta, I sin theta cos theta. So it will become I times sin 2 theta. Since these terms are same only, so same format will be found here. I times sin 2 theta and this will be cos 2 theta. Now we got the pattern here. For a it was theta, for a square it was 2 theta. So a to the power 5, it will become 5 theta. That's it. So cos 5 theta here, cos 5 theta here. I sin 5 theta here, I sin 5 theta here. Now as we can see, it is given as A, B, C and D. And theta value is pi by 24. Okay. So this is A here, this is B here, this is C here, this is D here. Okay. So we have to choose which is not true. Okay, the wrong option. Okay, let's see this one. A square minus D square. These are same only. So this is correct one only. Okay, because this will become 0. Cos square 5 theta minus cos square 5 theta. Now let's check this one. A square minus B square equal to half. So it's given cos square 5 theta. I am checking option number 4. Minus I square sin square 5 theta. So this will become cos square 5 theta plus sin square 5 theta. That is equal to 1. Obviously this is a wrong one. Similarly we can check from 1 and 3 also. That will be the correct option. But we have to find the wrong one. Okay. So let's move on to next one.
Now next one question is based on solution of system of linear equation. So let's find the value of delta x, delta y and delta z. So delta is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5 and 2. So delta will be equals to 1 times of 6 minus 5 1 minus 2 times of 4 minus 3 1 plus 1 times of 10 minus 9, it is also 1. So if you will see, this value is 0 here. Now find value of delta x. In delta x, the column 1 will be replaced by b1, b2, b3. So it will be equals to 3 3 1, 2 3 5, 1 1 2. So this value will be equals to 3 times of 3 to the 6 minus 5 1 minus 2 times of 3 to the 6 minus 1 5 and plus 1 times of 5 3 is 15 minus 3 12, and this value is 12 plus 3 15 minus 10, it will be 5. So with the help of Kramer rule, we can find the value of x y z by using the formula. X will be equals to delta x by delta, y will be equals to delta y by delta, and z will be delta z by delta. Sometimes we have to remember this formula. We can remember this formula in a very easy way, because if you will multiply delta on the left hand side, so delta into x on the left hand side, delta into x on the right hand side. So this is the easy way to remember this formula. So if you will see here, delta x is a non-zero value, but delta is a 0 value, and non-zero upon 0, it will be undefined. If x value is undefined, so can we say there will be no solution of the given system of equation. Now next one question.
Okay, so it's given that the domain is given from 0 to 2 and codomain is given as all real number, twice differentiable function. Okay, f double derivative of x is greater than 0. When the double derivative is positive, we can say that f dash x is increasing function. Okay, now we have to find phi x, fx plus f of 2 minus x, and we have to say that phi function is increasing or decreasing in which interval. So for finding increasing or decreasing, we will just find the derivative. So it will be f dash x minus of f dash 2 minus x. Let's let's find out for the increasing interval. Okay, for increasing, phi dash x should be greater than equal to 0. So it will be f dash x minus f dash 2 minus x should be greater or equal to 0. So we can write f dash x is greater or equal to f dash 2 minus x. Now as we can see, f dash is an increasing function from here. Okay, so we can remove the f dash function from both sides. So it will be x greater than 2 minus x, and it's a strictly increasing function here. So we have removed the inequality also. So 2x greater than 2, x greater than 1. So we got x greater than 1, the function will be increasing. So you can see this is increasing 0 to 1, decreasing on 1 to 2. Okay, so it's a wrong option. Decreasing on 0 to 2, again wrong. Increasing on 0 to 2, no. Because for x greater than 1 only it will be increasing. So our correct answer will be option number 3. Okay, so let's move on to the next one.
Now next one question is based on determinant. Here we have to find value of f of 0 and f dash 0. Then we have to find value of this given expression. So first let's find value of f of 0. F of 0 will be equals to 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 6, 0, 4 and minus 2. So it will be equals to expand along R1, 0 times of anything 0. So minus 1 times of it will be minus 4 and plus 1 times of 8. So this comes out equals to 12. Now f dash 0. So first let's find f dash x. So during differentiation of determinant, first we have to differentiate the first row, second, third as it is, and similar process will be go on. So first row differentiation, it will be equals to 3x square, it will be 4x, it will be 3. And this as it is, so 3x square plus 2, 2x, x power 3 plus 6, x cube minus x, 4, x square minus 2. And now differentiate the second row. So it will be equals to 6x, it will be equals to 6x, 2 and 3x square, first or third as it is. So x cube, 2x square plus 1, 1 plus 3x, x cube minus x, 4, x square minus 2. Now differentiate the third row. So it will be equals to 3x square minus 1, 0, it will be simply 2x. So it will be first or second row as it is, so x cube, 2x square plus 1, 1 plus 3x, 3x square plus 2, 2x and x power 3 plus 6. Now put the value of x as 0. So f dash 0 it will be equals to 0, 0, 3, 2, 0, 6, 0, 4, minus 2. And this one will be 0, 0, 0. If 3 times 0 appear, so overall determinant value will be 0. And it will be equals to 0, 1, 1, 2, 0, 6, minus 1, 0, 0. So the value of f dash 0, it will be simply equals to 3 times of 4 to the 8 and its result will be 24 and this value will be 0 and this value will be equals to, if we will expand along the third row, so minus 1 times of 6, it will be simply minus 6, 24 minus 6, it will be 18. Now question requirement is 2 times of f of 0 minus f dash 0. F of 0 is already calculated 12. So 2 into 12, 24, 24 minus 18, answer simply will be 6, option 3 correct. Now next one question.
Okay. So if the focus of the hyperbola is same of that of ellipse. Okay, this ellipse is a vertical ellipse, so its focus coordinate will be b 0 comma b. So b square will be equal to what? B square minus a square, that is 25 minus 9, that is 16. So we got b square as 16. So we got b value as 4. Okay. So for finding eccentricity of this ellipse, I will put the value of b here. So value of b here is 5. So E is equal to 4 by 5. This is eccentricity of ellipse. Now the second statement given was eccentricity of the hyperbola is 15 by 8 times. Eccentricity of the hyperbola is 15 by 8 times eccentricity of ellipse, that is 4 by 5, which we got as 3 by 2. Okay. Now again going to the first line, if the focus are same for hyperbola and ellipse, okay, if the focus are same, so hyperbola and ellipse coordinate, focus coordinate will be equal to 4 only. Okay, so it will be b into E is equal to what? 4 here. B into E will be equal to 4. And what was eccentricity of hyperbola? 3 by 2. So we got B value as 8 by 3 here. Okay, what is B? Because we have already used small b there, I am using capital A and capital B for the x and y intercepts. Okay, So this is equal to -1 because this is a vertical ellipse, so it will become conjugate hyperbola. Okay. Now for finding the focal distance of the point. So focal distance of a point on a hyperbola is given as EY1 plus minus B. Okay, EY1 plus minus B. If it's a regular hyperbola, it will be EX1 plus minus A. So it will be 3 by 2, y1 coordinate is given as 14 by 3 under root 2 by 5 minus, because we have to take the smaller one, and minus 8 by 3. So these all are cancelled out. So we got 7 times under root 2 by 5 minus 8 by 3. Okay. We are just discussing in a very fast way because we don't want to waste any of your time. Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
So it's not that we don't want to explain you anything. Just you can see the lecture here and you can see which question you got wrong and you can learn new steps from that. Okay, Sagar sir, please move on to next one.
See, next one question is, this is a question based on we have to find variance. So in this question, 3 rotten apple are accidentally mixed with 15 good apple and random variable is given number of rotten apple. So x is number of rotten apple. So we have to find variance, and the formula of variance will be sigma square, it will be equals to expectation of x square variable minus expectation of x whole square. Everyone know this formula. So now expectation can be simply calculated with the help of formula. It will be sigma of pi xi. So simply find the probability first. That is the major requirement of the question. So expectation corresponding to x equals to 0, probability corresponding to x equals to 0. So probability corresponding to x equals to 0, this will be equals to number of rotten apple are 0 in the selection of 2 apple. So if in the selection of 2 apple rotten apple are 0, that means all 2 are good. If all 2 are good, simply we can say that will be selected out of 15 good apple. So 15 C2 in total 15 plus 3, it will be 18. So 18 C2. So this will be equals to 105 upon, it will be equals to 153. So probability corresponding to x equals to 1. If out of 2 selected apple, 1 apple is rotten apple, so that rotten apple will be selected from the 3 rotten. So that means 3 C1, and the next one will be selected out of 15. So it will be 15 C1. In total we can write here 18 C2. So it will be equals to 45 upon, it will be 153. Now probability corresponding to x equals to 2. If out of 2 selected apple, all 2 are rotten, so that means 3 C2, in total 18 C2. So it will be simply written as 3 by 153. Now question requirement is sigma square. So sigma square or variance, it will be equals to expectation of x square. So simply replace x by x square. So what we can write here, 0 square into 105 by 153, or plus, because there is sigma, so we have to add all the value corresponding to x equals to 1 square into 45 by 153, and plus, now x equals to 2, it will be 2 square, that means 4 times of 3 by 153 minus expectation of variable x, and simply there is whole square. Expectation means sigma xi pi. Sigma xi pi simply will be equals to 0 into 105 upon 153, 1 into 45 by 153 plus 2 into 3 by 153. So sigma square, it will be equals to, this will be cancelled, 4 3 ja 12, and 45 plus 12, it will be 57. 57 by 153 minus of this value will be 0, 3 2 just 6, 45 plus 6, it will be 51. 51 by 153, and 51 by 153, it will be simply equals to 1 by 3. 1 by 3 whole square will be 1 by 9. So sigma square, it will be simply equals to, LCM will be 153 here, it will be 57, 57 minus, it will be equals to 17, because 17 is the 153. So answer is simply 40 by 153, as you can see option 4 match. Now next one question.
Okay, so it's given f of x is given and we have to find a composite function f of fx. So finding f of fx, we will just replace x by fx only. So it will be 4 times fx plus 3 upon 6 times fx minus 4. So at the place of fx, I am writing this whole value again. So it will be 4x plus 3 upon 6x minus 4 plus 3 upon 6 times 4x plus 3 upon 6x minus 4 minus 4. Okay. So just open the bracket here. It will be 16x plus 12. This will cross multiplied here. It will be 18x minus 12 upon. It will be 24x plus 18. This will be multiplied here. It will be minus 24x plus 16. So 12 cancelled, 24x cancelled. So we got 34x upon 34, that is equal to x. So we got g of x value as x. So g of x will again become g of x, that is equal to x, and this process will repeat to infinity also, but we have given only 3 times g, so it will be value equal to x only. Okay, so it's a very easy question. So let's move on to next one.
Now next one question is based on binomial. Here A is given sigma k equals to 0 to n and ck combine minus 1 power k with 1 by 2 power k. It can be written minus 1 by 2 whole power k and cr x power r. So y power n minus r, that can be adjusted by multiplying 1. 1 per n thing will be 1, and after multiplication of 1, that means value will be simply unchanged. So the next one sigma will be k equals to 0 to n and ck minus 1 power k into this, it will be minus 3 by 4 whole power k, and again 1 power n minus k, and this series will be gone up to sigma k equals to 0 to n and ck minus 31 by 32 whole power k into 1 power n minus k. As you can see, all the binomial coefficient are included here from k equals to 0 to k equals to n. So that means expansion is written complete. That is a different thing, that is written in compact form. So what we can write, NCR x power r y power n minus r. This is the expansion formula of x plus y whole power n. So it will be 1 minus 1 by 2 whole power n. Next one will be 1 minus 3 by 4 whole power n. After 3 by 4 it is 7 by 8. So 1 minus 7 by 8 whole power n. Then it will be 1 minus 15 by 16 whole power n. And last one will be 1 minus 31 by 32 whole power n. So A simply can be written, it will be 1 by 2 power n, it will be 1 by 4 power n, it will be 1 by 8 power n, 1 by 16 power n, and 1 by 32 power n. As you can see, this is GP because this by this 1 by 2 power n, this by this 1 by 2 power n, same here. So apply the formula for sum of GP, and sum of GP formula is A into r power n. So 1 by 2 power n, number of terms here are 5, minus 1 divided by 1 by r minus 1, that means 2 power n minus 1. Now simplify this. So after simplification, what we can write, A value is equals to, it will be 1 by 2 power n, this can be written 1 minus 2 power 5n, 1 minus 2 power 5n, or directly we can written as it is here. A value will be equals to, if we will multiply minus sign, so it can be written 1 by 2 power n, 1 minus 1 upon 2 power 5n whole divided by 1 minus 1 by 2 power n, and 1 minus 1 by 2 power n, it can be written 2 power n minus 1 divided by 2 power n, this can be cancelled. Here we are writing in this format because of the given question expression, because this is given 1 minus of something, that's why 1 minus of something. If you will directly see here, that means 2 power of n minus 1 times A, it is 1 minus 1 upon 2 power 5n. So here instead of 5n there is given 30, so indirectly we can say it will be 6. And when n is 6, 2 power 6 will be 64, minus 1 directly that will be 63. So n is 6. Now next one question.
Okay, so next question is from mixing of two observation sets here, and we have to find the combined variance. Okay, so combined variance formula is n1 sigma 1 square plus n2 sigma 2 square upon n1 plus n2 plus n1 n2 upon n1 plus n2 whole square into x1 mean minus x2 mean whole square. Okay, this is a combined variance formula. N is what? N is size, mean is x bar, and variance is sigma. This is sigma 1 square, this is sigma 2 square. And the combined variance is given as 17 by 9. So we will just put all the values here. So it will be 17 by 9 equal to 10 into 2 plus 1 into n upon 10 plus n plus 10n upon, again it will be 10 plus n whole square, and it will be 2 minus 3 whole square, that is 1 only. Okay, let's take LCM here. It will be 17 by 9. This will be 20 plus n into 10 plus n, and this will be 10n upon 10 plus n whole square, correct? Now we will just cross multiply it. It will become 17 times 10 plus n whole square is equal to 9 times. This will become n square plus 40n plus 200. Just open this, it will be 17n square, it will be 9n square, 17 minus 9 will be 8n square. It will be 20n, 20n minus 17 is 340, 340 minus 360 is 20n. It will be 1700 and it will be 1800. So minus 100 equal to 0. Dividing this by 4, it will be 2n square minus 5n minus 25. So by applying splitting the middle term here, minus 10n plus 5n minus 25 equal to 0. I will take 2n common from this and 5 common from this, and what will left here? N minus 5. Okay, so n value can be equal to 5 or it will be equal to minus 5 by 2. This is not possible because n will be an integer, natural number only, so n equal to 5 here. Okay, so let's move on to next one.
Now, next one question is based on series. Here the first 3 terms are in GP, next 3 terms are in AP. A and B both are given positive, and we have to find value of 72 types of A plus B. If these 3 numbers are in GP, that means square of the middle term, it will be equals to first into third. So 1 by 16 into B. Now, if these 3 numbers are in AP, that means twice of middle, it will be equals to first plus third. So from this, B can be written 16A square, put this value here, 2 by 16A square equals to 1 by A plus 6. So it will be 1 by 8A square, 1 plus 6A by A. So it will be A equals to 8A square plus 48. It will be equals to 48A. It will be equals to 48A. One of the power of A cancel. So 8A plus 48A square. So 48A square plus 8A, and this will be simply 1. So what we are getting, the 1 on the left hand side, it will be minus 1. So what are the factor here? 48A square plus 12A minus 4A minus 1 equals to 0. Here 12A common, it will be simply 4A plus 1. Here minus 1 common, it will be simply 4A plus 1 equals to 0. So A value either will be 1 by 12, A value either will be minus 1 by 4. But in the question itself, it is given A greater than 0, so this value of A will be rejected. If A is known, B value will be 16 times of A square. 16 times of A square means 1 by 12 and again 1 by 12. So it can be written 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16 and 4 3s are 12, it will be simply 1 by 9. As per the question requirement, 72 times of A plus B, it will be equal to 72. A is 1 by 12, B is 1 by 9. 72 by 12, it will be 6. 72 by 9, it will be 8. So answer is simply 40. Now, next one question.
Okay, so in this question we have given fx as function. This is minimum of these two functions. For these types of question, we draw the graph of both the functions together and we take the lower part of the graph. So mod of x plus 2 will go like this. Okay, so this point is minus 2 comma 0, and when I will put x equal to 0, we will get y equal to 2. We all know the graph of y equal to e to the power x. Okay, so it will pass from 0 comma 1. So this graph will go like this, and after some point it will be above the mod x graph. Why? Let's put x equal to 2. So it will be become 4 and it will become e square, that is 2.7 square, which is much greater than 4. So at, let's say after 2 it will be some point above the modulus graph. Okay, so we have to take the min function. Min function means this part of the graph. Okay, which part is the lower row. Okay, so we can see the points of non-differentiability where we are forming a sharp edge. So one edge here, one edge here. Okay, and after that also we are forming here also 3 here and 1 here. So total number of sharp edges is what? 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So final answer will be 4. I will continue with this. Next question. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now next one question is this.
Yeah. So last question is this. Sn is given in something like this. Okay. What we will do? We will take this power to the forward and it will be divided. So it will be 2 log x base a, 3 log x base a, and 6 log x base a, and so on up to going to n terms. Okay. If I will take log x base a common, it will be 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 11 plus 18 and so on. Okay. If you will see, the difference is in AP. For solving differences in AP, we have many methods. Okay. You can take to n terms or you can take the quadratic formula here. But simple observation also we can see. 3 can be written as 1 plus 2, 6 can be written as 4 plus 2, 11 can be written as 9 plus 2, okay, and this 2 can be written as 0 plus 2. So as you can see, this whole series can be written as n minus 1 whole square plus 2, because first term we should get 0, for the second term we should get 1, for the third term we should get 4, that is 2 square, okay, n minus 1 whole square plus 2. So we have to find the value of f24x is given here, okay, but this is the nth term here, getting it or not? So nth term is what? Log x base a, this will be n square plus 3 minus 2n. For finding Sn, we all know we should do summation of Tn. So this will be log x base a, summation of n square is n plus 1, 2n plus 1 by 6 minus 2 times n plus 1 by 2 plus 3n. Now we can see, we can take n common from all these terms, okay. So if I take n common from all of these terms, it will become n plus 1 into 2n plus 1, and let's take LCM by 6. So 6 times n plus 1 minus 18, okay, just open this, it will become log x base a into n by 6 also. So n by 6, this will become 2n square, this will become 3n minus 6n, that is minus 3n plus 1 minus 6 minus 18 plus 1 minus 6 minus 18, that will be minus 25, correct? Now let's put n equal to 24 here, because S24 is given. S24 is given is 1093 log x base a 24 by 4. It will be 2 times 24 whole square minus 3 times 24 minus 25. After solving, these two values will get cancelled. We don't need to solve this, okay, just open this thing and see, the value will come out to be exactly 1093. So this and this also cancelled, okay, so this will be 4 times. So we got log x base a equal to 1 by 4. So x equal to a to the power 1 by 4. Now the next equation is given as S12 of 2x, that is given as 265 here, okay, but at the place of x I am writing 2x, because they have also written 2x here, okay. Now at the place of n, just write 12, okay, so it will be 2 times 12 square minus 3 times 12 plus 25. After solving this thing, you will get 530, okay. So log 2x base a will come out to be 1 by 2. So 2x will be equal to a to the power 1 by 2. Now from these two equations, just substitute value of x from here to here. It will be 2 times a to the power 1 by 4 equal to a to the power 1 by 2. So we got a to the power 1 by 4 equal to 2. So we got a equal to 16. So this is a very lengthy question. I think so you should keep this question for the last part of the exam, okay, if you are having time, because process is known by many of you, but this question might consume 7 to 8 minutes of your time on the exam, okay. So we will conclude here. Sagar sir, please.
Now you all have official JEE main exam. So the most important thing that you have to keep in mind, I hope you all prepare well. Be confident in the exam. That is the most important thing, because some student will feel that our hard work is not as per the level of some other competitor. Don't feel in that way, because this is the last of your preparation. So in your exam, be confident and simply write your exam. So on behalf of the resonance team, all the best to all the students. Do your best. Thank you.